Now let's get AJ in here. Let's see. Window capture. Here. Let's see. Window capture. Oh, I can hear that. Be careful.
No, that was my phone.
Okay.
It's off.
Where are you? Is this... Okay, all right. Let's put you.
We're live.
We are live. Yeah, we're live. Hello, everybody.
We are live. I mean, live. Crap.
We're live alive.
Live alive, alive.
Live alive. Love alive. That's an anime called like that. No, Date Alive. That's the anime.
See, okay. I used to use.
What's the other one? Love Live?
There's a Love Live too.
I think I used to use the I decides, but now it's all messed up as like the middle part. Let's see. Let's move.
Oh yes. Well, you're definitely biasing towards me. Not that I mind.
All right, does this look good, everybody? You know what? And let's get my face a little bit more centered here.
I was say you can go a little bigger on your side. It looks like.
Yeah, you can, and bigger.
You want to like be just to the left of the G in GameMess.net. That's where the divide should be.
Oh, okay, I got you. On the bottom there. All right, that works.
Yeah.
Just to the left of Game Mess. There we go. Let's go right
pretty
there.
Sure you should. I'm pretty sure you should use Control D and Control S to align to the side, but
except we're looking away from each other.
I can fix that. I'm gonna be actually looking over here a lot. So is this better?
Oh, look who it is! Oh shit! Everybody, chill.
Actually, I could.
Look who joined.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You get the hell out of here! Don't you ruin this for me!
Enjoy your gaming, bitch.
Is that all? Did he leave?
Are we live?
No, it's still here.
We're live. We're live-ish.
We were live.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. It haven't started yet, though, I'm guessing.
No.
Well, yeah, we have not started. No.
Well, I'm not planning to be around this whole thing, but I'll do a little check-in on my exciting day.
All right. Let's start this. I still don't have music, so what do I need to do? I have the rundown here. What else do I normally do on this show? Do I?
Are you going to handle? You have Streamlabs. You'll do the super chats. I got the questions.
You'll do the questions. Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah, I got it ready.
Cool. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's do this.
Can you get a little bit of mic on the stream?
Hey, look, it's Alex.
Because he's the
Hi, Alex.
Camera.
Hey, man.
The YouTube people don't see Alex, but
I have no idea who I am. I think Jeff.
I felt like I think I've met Alex before. I feel like I don't know. Okay, let's see here.
Tweet. Everyone's saying tweet.
Tweet. All right, everyone's saying tweet. All right, how do I do that? Let's see.
I didn't think we would have to teach you how to tweet. That's surprising.
Have you been doing this for like 4 years?
I have.
5 years?
Tweeting very
Just bad at his job.
Over 5 years at this point.
I was telling everybody at Giant Bomb how bad Jeff is at working. And how he's a bum.
Yeah, good.
He never responds to the Slack messages. It's crazy.
No, he's like completely stopped responding to me the last couple of days on Slack. It's weird.
Oh god, the Giant Bomb people are gonna have to figure out how to get a hold of him.
I'll tell them. You have to tweet him, and then
I've already mentioned to DM me on Twitter before a couple times now. I'm like, hey, just in case. I'm unpacking things, so I might be busy. I've used that as an excuse.
Right. Yeah, that's why. That's why.
I feel like we should get you should put a little bit of mic on the stream because people is missing out on just a beautiful creature.
They'll have to look. Just put glasses on me, and it's basically Mike at this point. just play along at home.
I got my swag bag here. My Cuphead swag bag.
Oh, you getting the kids?
Nice. Oh, you fucking chill.
Don't worry, AJ. You can have my Lego Brawler shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're ready. I can check chat here. I can check this here. I have stream elements. Let's do this damn thing. All right. I'm going to count down, and then I'm going to hit the record button, and I'm just going to hop right into it. When I say, I'm your host, Jeffrey Grubb, and with me is AJ. You do your thing, and then we'll be good. All right. Recordings over here in 5, 4, 3. It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the GameSpeak. I knew it. I did it already. God damn it.
Fucking told you.
Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is a podcast where we decide everything that's happening in the world of video games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeffrey Grubb. With me is...
AJ Minotti.
Chat's already having a good time at my blunders. That's not going to be the last time that happens.
No, we have months of this, guys. Months of this.
Christian pointed out a very important thing to me that I didn't realize. My new show on Giant Bomb is going to be called The Morning Mess. He's like, you're going to call it Game Mess, and you're going to call it Games Beat and all this stuff because it's all mixed up in your brain. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to make that mistake a lot. So, yes, that's going to happen.
Jeff, you never make mistakes.
Oh,
Who
Mike
said that?
Minotti's here. God damn it.
Damn it. I thought I put you on a plane and sent you away. You're in Switzerland, you little son of a bitch.
Yeah, where'd your plane end up? Where are you?
I'm at Jeff Keighley's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm coked up on the Rock's energy drinks, whatever they're called.
I was tempted
We
to try
had
to
a
find some
bender.
for tonight.
So how's the IMAX screen?
Oh, it's been torn up because we've all been in a rage from all the
Right.
energy that we have. Oh, the mana of the earth.
The mana.
Have you been in any Iron Paradises recently? Anything like that?
Oh yeah.
But we're going to check in with Mike, who is live on the ground in LA, playing video games as part of an industry event. That's weird. I didn't know they did that.
It is. Jeff, it's great. Ever since you became more popular because you leaked an Elden Ring or something, everyone knows who I am here now. It's fantastic.
The last time you did this, I remember you being very happy because it's like, oh, I got to meet some people, and over time they realized I'm personable or whatever. And this time they just recognized you immediately. Is that what happened?
That's much better. I feel, yeah. It's great. It's great for that old imposter syndrome thing, right?
Well, I'm happy that my coattails are strong enough to carry you, Mike.
They are mighty fine coattails, Jeff. Thank you.
On this podcast, we talk about news, we talk about games. This week, we are going to be talking about E3, definitely catching up on what is, no longer E3, but still E3 in our hearts. First, though, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and I haven't updated this, so it still says, get more from Mike and me at gamespeed.com. It's been a busy week. I've been driving across the country. But get more from us at gamemess.net, which will take you to our Discord, which is a thriving Discord, which you should join. It's free to join. If you want to ask us a question, you can email me at, I'm going to have to set this up, games@gamemess.net. I got all the email I set up. So
what a mess.
It's going to be a real mess. That's the free way to communicate with us. But if you want to talk to us right now, if you can't wait and you want to guarantee that we are going to answer your question, hit a super chat right here in chat. We'll get to that. We'll answer you live on the air. Thank you to Carlos Ain, who is in Stand in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. We are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are caught. And you can get us on YouTube every week. We go live. But if you're watching live, hit that thumbs up button. It helps people find the show while we're doing this, and then later when it's a VOD. Thank you to our mods, and you can support the show and get into the secret channels inside the Discord and get some extra content like our Jeopardy game, our monthly Q&A by going to patreon.com/gamemess or hitting that join button here on YouTube. Okay, let's. I have a lot of news, which I don't think I actually added in.
You don't say.
Well, before you do all that news, Jeff, why don't you let me do my on-ground report so I can go back to partying and drinking Twitches, alcohol, or whatever.
So people can't see you, but The Rock is behind you, beckoning you to come back to the party. So
he's got so much Terramana brand tequila right now, and it just looks like such a good time over there. I will, The Rock. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to, The Rock. Give me a moment, please.
All right, push him away. Tell us about video games, Mike. What are your thoughts so far?
Hey, I know the show is maybe whatever. This event's pretty nice for the people who are here. It's smaller, but it has a show floor of sorts. And it's open, and there's some fun games here. Honestly, oh, there's Wildfire Alex, by the way, over there. I don't know if you heard that. He said he thought he liked it better than E3. I don't know if I would go that far, but I am.
Spectacle.
I like spectacle. There isn't a lot of spectacle here, but that's okay. I mean, it's maybe better than what we used to do for Judges Week, where we had to get in a bus and go all over the place, and it was kind of a whole thing. So it's nice that how it's very centralized. But I mean, the big thing here is probably Street Fighter 6, Capcom's booth. But it's a little station. Street Fighter 6 is already looking really polished, really nice, really satisfying, very pretty, really fun. And I played it today. I think we kind of stuck in the line. I have an actual appointment tomorrow, so I'm going to spend even more time with it. But that seems to be the darling of the show.
Mike, can I ask about Street Fighter?
You have a question about Street Fighter?
I have a question about Street Fighter. So my understanding is there's a mode in Street Fighter where you can like hit a direction on the thumbstick or whatever and a button on the controller and do special moves. And to me, that sounds like a game called Super Smash Brothers, which is a fighting game you've played a lot of. Do your skills in Super Smash Brothers translate into Street Fighter 6?
No. So I think that mode is going to be good for people who are just awful at like quarter rolls and stuff like that. But when you do that mode, there are certain things that like it makes things easier, but it kind of gives you less control. It feels like you have a little bit less finesse, if that makes any sense. Again, I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it, but I did mess around with it. It's neat, but I've played a decent amount of Street Fighter. I'd rather just use the classic controls and have my quarter rolls and all of that jazz. So, but gosh, I played that Power Wash Simulator game. Jeff, I was cleaning things with my power washer. That
Why didn't you come to my house last week? I just paid a guy to do that.
Is that coming to console or something? Is that what's happening there?
They announced today. I think they gave it it's out of early access release date or something, and it's coming to console, and it's fun. I think as much as it's the best power washing game I've ever played, I could say that with some. And then the big moment, the big Games Beat redemption. I played the Cuphead DLC, and by the way, I just realized that the delicious last course is the name because those letters spelled DLC. Very clever.
Yep.
That's very nice. Yes, but I beat the demo, and I don't want to brag, but I may be like one of the few, if only people, who beat the demo here. So Games Beat is redeemed, and everybody on the internet is going to apologize to us.
I'm sure those apologies are coming in right now.
Nintendo jail now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I even had an interview with them, and I was like, it was embarrassing. I was like, you have to go on the record and say in this interview that I did beat the demo and that I'm good at video games. So there's that. Can you believe I played Sonic Frontiers, but that's like the one thing here to head in NDA. I can't talk about it yet.
That's like the one I was the most curious about.
So Mike, no one on stream can see you. Only people that are under Friendia can see you with your face, and we won't react. With your face, give me your opinion on Sonic Frontiers. Okay. All right. There was a lot of facial expressions happening there.
There was
that's why I laughed.
Happening at once, so yeah.
Yes. He was trying to do 3 facial expressions at once. Yes. All right. Fair enough. Okay. So what else? I mean, like anything else that stuck out to you, or?
Oh gosh, just little things. I have some more appointments tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. I did get to. There's this one indie game part of Day of the Devs that was called Time Flies. It's like black and white. It looks like it was made in like shitty MS Paint, and you just play as a fly.
Yeah, you just play as a fly.
Yeah, and you like live for 70 seconds, and in those 70 seconds, you have to kick off your bucket list items and stuff like that. So you're just kind of flying around, basically looking for mini games, almost like WarioWare style mini game kind of things. Jeff will like it. It's silly. It's small, but the dubstep's kicked in. I don't know if you can hear it. But we're getting the Rock. Wait, the Rock. I'll be right there.
Enjoy your gaming.
Yes, I will. Thank you. Just give me a second to finish talking to my good friend Christian and my enemies Jeff and my brother AJ. But
I did see that trailer, and it does look very good. So I'm excited to play that.
Right. Yeah, and I think those are the big hits that I've gotten into today. It's been fun. It's been interesting. I've been enjoying myself. Street Fighter 6 seems to be the highlight. It seems like they're on a pretty good path with that one. I know Street Fighter 5 kind of started slow and picked up momentum after like missing some key features and whatnot. It feels like this one could just come out really strong right away and be a really big hit.
Mike, they can see your face now, just so you know.
Oh my god.
I had to turn the camera around. The Rock was camera shy.
Yes, of course, yes. One thing we know. I mean, because he didn't get a chance to get Punk today. Sick. Yeah, no, this is like fantastic podcasting. This is perfect. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Well, guys, I just really wanted to check. I didn't want to miss the inaugural episode of Game Mess Decide, so I wanted to just check in real quick and let you guys know what's going on. Everyone says hi, Jeff. Much love from me and from Wildfire Alex. Look, there he is. Hey. All right, guys. You guys have fun. I'm going to enjoy listening to the rest of the show later. Bye,
All
everybody.
right, man. Take
All
it
right.
easy. Bye, Mike.
Enjoy your time, Mom.
Bye. Enjoy your gaming.
Enjoy your gaming. That's how we say. That's how we say goodbye to each other now. All right, let me see if I can fix this. All right.
That just broke everything, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it's okay. I'll fix it right here. There we go. All right. Okay, so with that, I mean, that was illuminating. I thought he had a lot to say. I'm not surprised that he's having a good time. The kind of like this is the kind of thing where it's like when you do go out to LA, these are the kinds of events that actually make it worthwhile. Where you go and it's set up so that you can play games real quick, and then you can also talk to other people in the industry. Mm-hmm. Those are two things that we rarely actually get the chance to do. As much as like that you think it's like our job is to play new games. Usually we're playing games a lot of times just a week before everyone else. With E3, it was always, here's a chance to maybe play something months early, get a good time, and then get a good chance to like sit down with developers. And then at night, you go down and you talk about everybody about the state of the industry. And so I'm not surprised that he's having a good time. That sounds about right. And that's the one thing Jeff Keighley can definitely provide this year. Like he's talking about doing stuff in person next year, right? But we don't know how that's going to come together. If he keeps doing at least this, he's going to be a de facto replacement for E3 for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So let's see. With Mike's checkup out of the way and him getting back to the copious amount of drugs that he's doing, let's get to the news. So, AJ, I don't want to talk about everything that was in these shows yesterday, but Summer Game Fest did happen. I guess more than anything, because people, like most people watched it. They had they had 1 million concurrent viewers. There was a lot of people watching that show. So they've seen everything that was in it. I guess I kind of want to get your take on the show. Did you think that it was, I'll put it this way. Do you think it was worth your time to sit down and watch it?
It wasn't worth 2 hours. Here, look, right. I could break down 70% of the show by just saying, in a space station where something has gone wrong, a horrible evil awakens, and you are there. Like, that was Alien, Callisto Protocol, the one with Troy Baker and the guy from Red Dead. Like, even, oh crap, the new RTS from the Ex-Blizzard guys,
Stormgate, right?
Stormgate, yes, thank you. Even that kind of had that vibe of like, oh no, aliens are coming and we're trapped in this weird place with them. Like, it's not Jeff Keighley's fault. Like, he just said, hey, developers, I'm going to do this thing. What are you working on? It just so happened that like everyone's making derelict space station games right now, apparently. And it wouldn't have been so much of an issue. But aside from like that kind of extended gameplay sequence we got from Callisto Protocol, it felt like every game had a trailer that was like trying to really sell you on the world and less selling me on playing the game. Because we had that Alien trailer, which I was watching the beginning of the Giant Bomb stream you guys had, and everyone was like, oh, this is Callisto Protocol. And it's like, oh no, there's a xenomorph, it's Alien.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this is like they're doing Alien in the style of Dead Space. Okay. And then for like 10 seconds at the end, it's like, oh, it's isometric? Is it co-op? What I want to, oh, it's gone. Okay.
Right.
Like,
and so I think it plays like Helldivers. I guess it's a game I've never played, but people seem to like it. But we don't know. Right, those 10, you're like maybe 10 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah. And then it's like Stormgate, same thing. They're like, here's this cinematic trailer that's like trying to sell me on the world. And I knew what this game was. I know who Frostshine is. It's former Blizzard devs who've set out to revitalize the RTS genre. That's exciting because RTS has kind of felt, we have Age of Empires and it's kind of like really it, and some Warhammer games. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to get back to classic RTS. And here it is. They're finally revealing what they're working on. And here's like, okay, some generic kind of lore. And that looks like a Zerg Protoss thing kind of, I guess. And what was that? And they're like, we're going to redefine RTS. Like, tell me how. You showed a screenshot in a video presentation. You imagine being in an IMAX theater, like, well, look at that screenshot. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You know how that kind of happens is like during the Giant Bomb thing, I was speculating like this is probably someone who paid to be here, and then I realized, okay, these are former Blizzard people who probably live nearby and were like willing to drive and had a relationship with Jeff Keighley. And Jeff Keighley's like, oh, you used to be a Blizzard. You're doing your own RTS now. Of course, I'll have you in the show. And then, but they're like, oh, well, we don't have a ton. And he's like, well, we'll make it work. And then they come with a couple of JPEGs, and they're like, okay. And Christian always says they're PNGs. He's probably right that they were PNGs, but I think it's fun to say JPEGs. Yes. Hey, listen, I don't care.
And then the funny thing is, too, like, they called for beta signups like to begin in 2023. But I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go sign up. The site was down. Like that site crashed. So, for as much of the negativity I kind of seen around some of the elements of the show, I mean, it works. You said 1 million concurrent viewers, people tuned in, people are going to buy these games. We all are like, oh God, another Call of Duty. Oh God, the new game from the Genshin Impact people. Those are going to sell millions and millions of copies, or, the Genshin sequel will get billions of dollars in revenue. Like, we poo-poo it, but this is a mainstream event, and that stuff makes sense. I will say, I thought Call of Duty, of all things, I was pretty compelled. I think it's because I haven't really played a Call of Duty campaign since Infinite Warfare. That was like the future one, right?
Yes.
That's the last one I like actually tried.
Ones,
yeah. Because I think it's the last time, like, actually, I didn't even finish it, but I like played it. I haven't even touched them, despite even owning a couple. So like, I was like, you know what? I maybe am down to play like a new Call of Duty, as long as like it looks this good. Like, make it next gen, make it look pretty. That's what I want from a Call of Duty campaign, and this was delivering on this. So, and again, that was gameplay at least. Right. Well, what's Call of Duty gonna be like? I wonder. Like, we know, but it was fun to actually just get to see that played.
Yeah, and the other big thing, of course, I mean, the biggest thing, according to the way that was structured, the one final thing is the Last of Us remake, which we knew was coming for a very long time. Jason Schreier originally reported it, then I've been saying for months now that it's coming later this year. And they confirmed that. They said it's coming September 2nd to PS5, and it's also in development for PC. But that got leaked, and I think even if it didn't get leaked, that wasn't like I mean, it's definitely no Elden Ring, right? It's definitely no we're bringing the Elden Ring gameplay trailer. This felt like definitely weaker, and I do think some blame goes to Keighley for the way he presented this show with so much taking so much time to stop to talk about stuff, which is I think you do that in Nintendo Treehouse Live style presentations afterward, right? That's where that's
what Microsoft now is doing. They have their thing on Sunday, 90 minutes, and then on Tuesday they're gonna like have deeper dives, talk to devs. Because I get where Keighley's heart is with that. He wants to celebrate the developers and get them out in front. And I think that's great. But there's a time and a place for it, if that makes sense. Have the quick hitting, bombastic show where we get to see what everything is and get the hype. And then you could take those deep dives and talk to people and slow it down a little bit. But so going back to the Red Dead thing, I do wonder if they changed this or not. Because let's go to the Bizarro universe where the leak didn't happen.
You mean Last of Us? You said Red Dead. I just want to clarify. Last of
Us. Why did I say Red Dead? I don't know. Yeah. Last of Us. Yeah. So let's say there was a world where that leak didn't happen, and it was still presented kind of as it was in the show. Very odd, then, that you would kind of, what? Did they start with the trailer, or did they end with the trailer?
I think they started with the trailer, and they ended with several minutes of them talking about stuff.
Talking, and a screenshot of a multiplayer game, and a screenshot of a TV show. No, like, if you're gonna do it, do the talking, do the boring bit first, and then be like, but for all the Last of Us fans, we do have one more cool thing we want to share with you today, and then you just play that trailer, and that's your mic drop.
Yeah,
I don't know if they. I don't know. Maybe they decided to leak, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they decided to move it up because it leaked, and they're like, well, let's get it out of the way, or otherwise it looks like we're just burying the lead. I'll give them that benefit of the doubt, but I'd like to think that would have been the end of the show, was that trailer, which would have been more compelling.
Yeah. So what we did get was them showing that trailer, and then coming out to talk, and they gave us more information that was newsworthy. They said that they are working on basically the successor to Factions, which will be a standalone game that we're going to hear more about next year. This is going to be their big multiplayer standalone game, and they basically promised, like, the reason it's taking so long is because it is going to be its own thing, which is why it's not launching as part of. Yeah, it's not a mode in the Last of Us remake or something like that, and definitely not a mode launching years later now for the Last of Us Part 2. So yeah, that makes sense. And then they talked a little bit about the show, and they showed some pictures of Pablo, whatever his name is. I can't remember him. The Mandalorian, and the girl from Game of Thrones, the other character from Game of Thrones that's in that show. But then they didn't have those actors in it, so they just brought back out Troy Baker, who talked kind of for a long time, and they didn't really go anywhere. And then it just fizzled out. The show just ended, and I was like, oh, that's surprising. So
yeah, I was waiting for like the one more thing, kind of exciting mic droppy thing, like. Hell, even Silk Song or something would have been, a good ending to it. Hell, end with the Ninja Turtles and tell me I'm playing that next week.
Yes.
That would have
The
been
guy
a good
is-
ending.
Yes. Yeah. Pablo in
Pedro
chat says,
Pascal.
I'm Pablo. And he says, I was thinking of Pedro Pascal. Thank you, Pablo.
Yeah. And Bella Ramsey is the other girl.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the girl who played Bella Ramsey. Right. So I mean, we have questions lingering in the air. With like, what's up with that Kojima leak that happened early in the year, early in the week? I'm sorry, for Overdose, a horror game that I thought would for sure would show up here. I thought it was going to be in this thing because it's Jeff Keighley and Kojima together once again. Do
you think it shows up in Xbox? Did they lock it up?
I think the smart money is on that at this point. I guess the other possibility is it's at neither show, and it's actually we're not going to hear about it again for a very long time. That's possible, but right now it feels like if I were to bet on it, I would bet it shows up at Xbox. That seems like the kind of thing they would try to, like. What position is Xbox in? Not having a lot of games for the first part of this year, so they were probably scrambling to make as many deals as they could, even beyond whatever they might have been working on with Kojima before. Maybe they got another thing going, and we're like, hey, no, we will give you all the money you need for whatever you have, and let's go ahead and announce that. I think that's possible that happened.
Yeah.
So
That'd be big.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts for not the Game Awards? What is it? The Summer Game Fest.
Summer Game Fest. I mean, I indicated, but honestly, the most exciting thing was Turtles.
Yeah,
not even. I mean, it's 6 players. Cool. I feel like either that leaked or we heard about that.
Yes.
Casey Jones is great, but just to find out, it's next week. It's Game Pass. Yeah. I like because. So much of again the symptom of these CG trailers is you see it and you're like, well, I guess I'll play that a year from now. It's fun to find out. Oh, that's next week. I'm going to play that. That's phenomenal. So good.
Yeah. Turbo Sean says, but Guile though. I thought that Guile trailer actually was very
good.
well done. Yes, it was.
Yes. Good. I missed that. I tuned in like 3 minutes late, and that was like the only thing I missed. So I did go back and watch it. But
they gave him eyebrows and a beard. Very good. All right.
Just all the hair. He just sees all the hair.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because Mike did tell us. He's texted me saying he played Street Fighter 6 and was pretty high. Because I don't think I've literally played a minute of 5.
I don't know if I have either.
I played a lot of 4. I had 4 in the 3DS for God's sake. So I liked 4 a lot. I just don't know why I skipped 5. I just kind of did. So I'm excited to get back to Street Fighter. Do we know, Jeff? Is that PlayStation exclusive again?
No, Street Fighter 6 is coming to Xbox. They've said that. Yes, they confirmed. Good. It's coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. And then who knows if it ever gets like a... You remember when like Street Fighter 4 got that 3DS version? Maybe like something like that happens for the Switch. Maybe they do something like that for the Switch. I think that's possible. So yes, people in chat are saying something about like a Silk Song Game Pass report, and I've heard about that secondhand since I started putting the news together.
Yeah, I was gonna say who's that guy who says stuff?
Yeah, the Snitch is that who's people are talking about now, or is it someone else?
I saw it on Reddit earlier today.
Okay,
that, yeah, people are saying it's going to be a Game Pass day one, and they're going to announce it on Sunday. I mean, that'd be nice. That'd be another good feather in Microsoft's cap, really.
And when you say it like that, isn't that another one that makes a whole lot of sense? That if you have the money to spend and you are looking for W's for your show, so that people can feel good about Game Pass, regardless of what is happening with Starfield, regardless of what's happening with Redfall. That is one that is it's not going to fix everything, but it's like it's like a game of inches. It just moves things in your favor ever so slightly each time you have one of those. So
and it shows effort on their part. That
exactly, I think that's a very good point.
To do this,
yes,
it's a game that people have been waiting for. They think they're going to see it at Nintendo every time. Mike's had a pre-write for a year.
Right, exactly.
That'd be a good one. Be really nice.
Yes, so we talked about that. There was a whole bunch of other Xbox news that was announced. Let's see. Xbox is coming to TVs. The Xbox app is going to hit Samsung's 2022 TVs, smart TVs. I believe this says it's going to happen beginning June 30th. You can get the Xbox app from the Samsung Gaming Hub or Media Hub and log into your Microsoft account. I have a Samsung TV from like 2018, 2019.
Same.
So
I think you and I might have a similar one.
Yes.
I used to know the model number, but then I forgot.
Yeah, same here.
But it's 4K HDR and everything. But TVs and all. There's even a couple of monitors, I believe, that have that Media Hub app built into them. Still get it too, even though your PC should be able to do it. But
right.
I mean, this is super cool. It's something that's been rumored for a while. I thought it was going to be coming later. Based on kind of the rumors around the dongle or whatever they're making, getting kind of pushed back and talked about. But I wouldn't be surprised if soon after we see this come to LG, Vizio, even a Sony TV, because it's a separate division of PlayStation. They'll do it. But the early hands-on reports that I've read, make it sound good. The xCloud, I think, performs very well these days.
Yes.
For me personally, we have really two TVs mainly in this house, and they both have an Xbox attached. So like, it's not anything that I need. But I don't think it's the kind of thing you're like, I wish I could play some Xbox games. I'm going to go buy a new TV.
No,
but
no way.
If you get a new TV and you have a PlayStation or you have a Switch and you really don't play Xbox, but now it's just like, oh, I could take this DualSense controller I have on my PS5, connect it to my TV, and play Fortnite, for nothing. Or I can start paying this $15 a month subscription and play Halo and play Sea of Thieves and play Starfield when that happens. This is, it's again, we talk about the game of inches, and I think that's where Microsoft's really going with this.
I think the way that this really works is for those people that have Samsung TVs and don't have a console, like for that audience, there needs to just be one of those tiles on the TV, and it's like, subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate right now for the full price, $15 per month. You get all these games, and we will send you a controller for free. And I think if they do that,
I would love to see. I wonder if they've prototyped this. I feel like they had to. I want them to make like the Stadia controller, where it's just an Xbox Series controller that's got the Wi-Fi built in and connects to Game Pass to lower that latency further, to make setup with something like this even easier. Because I don't know, Bluetooth to a TV, that should be fine, but that could be finicky. Mm-hmm. You solve all those problems by just having a Wi-Fi enabled xCloud controller.
Microsoft is improving gaming on Windows 11 and Microsoft Edge. Optimizations for windowed gaming are currently being tested in the Windows Insider program. That's something. There's reasons to play windowed, especially if you're on a 4K monitor and you're playing a game at like 1440p and you want something else in the side view, the peripheral. There's reasons to do that, or even if 1080p and you want to use more of the monitor.
A lot of Windows stores apps only run it windowed full screen, like Halo. Everything's only windowed full screen.
And that messes with HDR, which they are also promising to improve. They're going to release an HDR calibration app, which is going to improve the consistency and accuracy of HDR on Windows, which has been just a real
shit show.
Since they started this whole thing. And albatross around the neck, whatever it is, it's been a problem for Windows PCs.
It's getting better, but HDR on PCs has always been problematic.
I use it sometimes. It's just the kind of thing where it's like, if it's off and I start a game, there's no way I'm going back to try to turn it on because it's too much of a headache. Mm-hmm. Let's see, they're also launching a Game Pass widget that enables players to discover more new games in Game Pass. They have the controller bar, which will feature a list of your most recent games and shortcuts to popular game launchers. So this all comes from like a big talk they posted for analysts and journalists, where like they had interviews from people inside Microsoft talking to people who are higher up inside Microsoft. And I watched this thing, and the impression I got from this is, on PC, they kind of want to like do things that are all additive. They want to just be doing things that are additive, and that means no matter what they are, if they're additive, they're going to do them. So they're going to make games that make sense for PC. So we're going to get a lot of RTSs, keep getting first-person shooters, obviously, get sims like Flight Sim. They're going to keep doing that. But then they're going to do stuff like, hey, we know you use other launchers, so instead of trying to replace those or get in the way of those, we're just going to facilitate that experience. So it makes it makes sense with where they are trying to be as a company, where it's like, hey, we're just trying to be part of the stream of your gaming. Like, as you get into the stream and you're all moving with the current, we don't want to upset that current at all. We just want to be a part of it and add more pressure to the stream or whatever. So, I say good for them in the way that they're doing that with these additions. Real quick, these Edge improvements for gaming. It's going to have a new personalized gaming homepage. They're going to build in a clarity boost that makes gameplay from cloud look sharper.
Have you used that?
I haven't. I'm wondering. That sounds interesting. I use Edge just because it's built in, and I don't want to install extra stuff.
It was in the Canary build, so I threw that on and turned it on. And it's like it's not like DLSS. It's not doing any kind of upresing. It's almost like like when you take a photo, there's that clarity filter that just kind of makes the definition seem to pop a little bit more.
Yes,
it's like turning that on. Okay. So if you take a photo on your iPhone and crank the clarity thing, that's kind of what it does, and it works. I think it kind of just helps everything look a little more crisp.
Right, especially because in the cloud it can come through with a lot of noise, so that makes a lot of sense that would fix that, or at least offset it somewhat. Efficiency mode is going to help improve gaming performance on Windows 10 and 11 to keep them running fast and smooth, and this is also an edge improvement. And then a game menu that will have access to hits like Microsoft Solitaire, Asteroids, Jewel, and Microsoft Edge's exclusive surf game.
Finally.
Yes,
Finally.
finally.
Masses can discover these classics.
Later this year, Xbox Cloud Gaming will enable you to play games from your personal Xbox library, not just the games in Xbox Game Pass library. This is huge. Actually.
Finally.
I have NHL and I want to play that all the time. And I'm like, but I got to get on my Xbox. I'm just busy right now. So if I could have that on my Xbox, or on my Steam Deck over the cloud, right. I'm totally going to do that.
Yeah, they actually said in 2019 this was going to come in 2020, and it didn't. We could blame that on the pandemic or whatever. I am curious because they very carefully use that wording, most games, or however they put it. So right. I wonder what the limitations are going to be. Is it going to include backwards compatible titles from 360 and Xbox One? Is it going to include, like games with weird licensing like Tony Hawk, or, right. If I want to play Madden 2020 or 2015 even, is that going to work? So hopefully it's the majority of what's out there. I mean, as long as they're getting the hits, I think we'll be fine. But yeah, because the biggest bummer about if you're trying to be a streaming service and you're going to have this Samsung TV app, and okay, cool, I've subscribed, and now I'm playing, The Medium. There you go, your favorite game, and I'm playing it, and I'm like picking away at it, blah blah blah, and then it gets delisted. And they're like, oh, but, it's going to come out in 2 weeks. You can buy it at a 10% discount. Well, if I'm only streaming, that doesn't do me any good. Because as it is right now, if a game goes off the Game Pass library, it's not streaming either. So this alleviates that. It further pushes their streaming platform as more of a independent platform, unless it's a supplementary platform.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where it's like it has the same problem as Nvidia's what is Nvidia's streaming service called? GeForce Now, where it's not about the technology or these companies, it's about the lawyers and making sure that everyone gets paid. And if you put it on a streaming service that's different than a console and people want more money, they're like, oh, like this is a thing you offer as part of Game Pass Ultimate. You're getting extra money for this and you're using our content to make extra money. They're going to want to get paid. It makes sense. It's probably going to be probably not a huge fee because Microsoft's going to be like, look, we're not making a ton of money from cloud game. That's not why people are subscribing. And I bet friendly companies like EA probably will be like, yes, thumbs up, go for it. This is additive for our stuff. Go for it. But there's going to be a lot of partners who are like, well, I bet like Take-Two games will be an issue and stuff like that.
Right.
Let's see. Xbox Design Lab is relaunched. It's got new colors: soft pink, soft orange, soft green, soft purple. There's a bunch of other stuff on there as well. But
keep waiting for Design Lab to let you design an Elite controller.
I thought this was going to be it, but
that's the reason I don't do it. I have an Elite 2, and like they're really cool. I play around with it. It's a great tool, and I have some Xbox controllers. I have the anniversary one. I have I really like this blue guy that I got.
Oh yeah.
But primarily I'm using that Elite controller, and why would I sacrifice the functionality of that for some cool colors?
Yep. Let's see some numbers from my Xbox about this stuff. 20% of Fortnite players on Xbox Cloud Gaming are new to Xbox. So they did that recently already. It has been a boon to their service. It's why they make these partnerships. It makes a ton of sense. That's only going to grow once it's on Samsung TVs. And the TV is like, do you want to play Fortnite now for free? Just hook up a controller and start playing. Like, that's going to be huge.
And then don't forget, if you're playing Fortnite that way and you buy a microtransaction, Microsoft gets their cut.
Yep. Absolutely, yes, and it's going to be huge for Microsoft as well. Xbox Game Pass on PC grew 300% last year, which is a pretty big number. But in this interview that I was watching, Phil Spencer was quick to say that wasn't good enough for me. And then the person that was interviewing him, it was actually someone who used to be on G4 a long time ago. I can't remember her name, but she's like, you always set really high goals. And I got the impression like this is a common occurrence within Microsoft where Phil Spencer's like, I'm going to set really high goals and push people to try to meet them. Because I think he thinks that creates an atmosphere where people will do as much as they possibly can to make things meet their targets. But like 300% for PC Game Pass growth, that's pretty good. If they can keep that up year over year, it's going to be like a major part of the industry here pretty quickly. Let's see. I have here a space for Capcom's showcase news for when I reuse all this news for the Bombcast on Tuesday. So I'm going to skip that because that hasn't happened yet. Kotaku reported that people hated working on Fallout 76. Many people left after going to work on that game. It was especially rough for QA. Ash Guy, are you surprised by this at all?
Not at all. I mean, I read this article. It's very lengthy, but very interesting. So I encourage people to check it out. But I mean, you can just tell that there was no way they could have turned that game around so quickly and not have it had been an absolute nightmare to QA it, to develop it, to test it, to deploy it. Then they're taking a game engine that's already janky, making it do multiplayer, which it's never done before, and then taking the role-playing part of Fallout, which is NPCs, throwing that out. It always felt like a recipe for disaster. I mean, the game's gotten to a point where it has its fan base, and good for them and good for the people who enjoy it. But yeah, the game always felt off to me. The best thing to come out of it is the very nice Fallout 76 backpack that I still use to this day that Mike got me at the event he went to. And that is that game's legacy to me.
And that was not the bag that was promised to the people who pre-ordered the premium
different
version,
bag,
right?
Nicer bag, I think.
Bag.
I love that
bag. Jason Schreier says God of War Ragnarok is still set to come out in November of this year, at least as of today. And he was quick to point out things can always change, but the people he's talked to this week say it's still coming in November. November might be a little bit later than people were expecting, especially after I got raided in South Korea, which is usually it's like 2 months later. And so people are expecting maybe September at the latest. But I'm not too surprised by this. It's another one where it's like, that sounds about right. How about, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. November doesn't surprise me at all, though. I mean, that game, they probably want to give it as much time as they can, but still have it come out this year, because I almost when there was a world where they were entertaining the notion of like, maybe we do just give it the room to breathe and go to Q1 2023, and then saw the reaction that Microsoft got when it delayed Starfield and Redfall, and like, okay, listen, everyone's pissed off at them. They feel like Microsoft has done this holiday. We can drop one of the biggest games, of the next 5 years on this holiday with nothing from Microsoft. Let's own it. Let's go get it. The only other reason I could think that they'd be okay with delaying it too is like, it's not like they're hurting for selling PS5s. They just sell them when they make. So they don't need like a system seller right now. So they have the ability to delay it and not hurt the hardware sales during the holiday. So that's why I said, like, cool if they hit that time frame, but I won't be shocked if it slips.
I'm right there with you. This is something I think we just missed with the last of the Nintendogs earlier this week. Nintendo is apparently sitting on everybody's 1-2 Switch, which is apparently miserable to play, according to a report out of Fanbyte. Feedback from playtesters say that the Jackbox style games go on way too long, and they just hate playing it after like 20 minutes, like where it's like 20 minutes in these Jackbox style games, and it's like, this should be over. So the idea is they wanted a game that would be slightly different, but kind of play on the style of 1-2 Switch. And so the idea they came up with was Jackbox style games. So people connect their phones and play together with a whole bunch of people. So it's like everybody 1-2 Switch. So everybody can play. But they just apparently failed at the part where you need to make it fun. And now they don't know what to do with this game. Ashguy, if you were in charge here, what would you end up doing?
Probably just can it, maybe reboot it and say like, okay, like clearly we missed the mark here. We wanted to do something in the style of these Jackbox and what's your movie one that you like?
Oh, yes, yeah, in Rift Tracks the game, yeah,
Rift Tracks. Jeez, I want to say Mystery Science. I was like, no, it's not that. It's Rift Tracks. But anyway, yes, like it's clear they were inspired by that, but they thought maybe it had too much 1-2 Switch still in it, and they need to understand no one cared about 1-2 Switch. I think they could make this style of game and divorce it from that franchise and let it be its own thing. It doesn't have to be married to this weird game that should have been a pack-in that launched with a Switch that no one remembers except when they bring it up every so often.
Yeah, I think the right way to do this is to make a WarioWare Battle Royale where it's WarioWare 99. And you can have the milking game or whatever. You could put some motion games in there or whatever, because WarioWare is very good at incorporating all this stuff. And then you launch it as part of Nintendo Switch Online, and you have 99 players, and whoever screws up last in one of these things, as it gets faster and faster and faster, and it's a lot of familiar WarioWare games, that's the winner. I think that'd
be fun. That'd be really fun.
A no-brainer at this point. But Instead, we're gonna get
Even
this.
just as a local party game with 8 people, that'd be fun.
Yes,
like
that'd be fun.
elimination style like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did that mega party games pack for WarioWare on GameCube. Just bring that back. Like, put it online or make it local with 8 players. You're right, because you're right. You have 8. You could have up to 8 Joy-Cons or whatever. Yeah, that could really work. Let's see here. Activision Blizzard announced it is starting to bargain with the Raven Union, which is it is required to do this by law. Like, once the employees vote to unionize, a company must bargain in good faith with that union. Something that today Howard Shore, or whatever, whoever the president of CEO of Starbucks is, he said he's not going to do that. That's just illegal. So he might get in trouble. He might actually get fined for saying that. But Activision Blizzard says, no, we're going to do that. And they have to. So we'll see like how this goes, because it's like they are abiding by the letter of the law. Let's see if they abide by the spirit of the law and if this actually goes anywhere, or if they kind of just like basically stomp their feet and drag their feet until Microsoft takes over, which is a possibility here.
Wasn't there another Q&A team who also recently just voted to unionize that?
Yes, I saw that too, and then I meant to add it to the story and to the lineup, and I think I just
I forget who it was. I don't know if chat might remember, but
I think Knubel had it in the rundown, but I'll see if I can find it later.
I think it's just very, very amusing that with its dying breath, Activision is going to be the force responsible for unionization in the game development industry.
Yep, it's one of the things that will definitely be remembered for. Was it a team at BioWare, Mopopolis? I think that sounds about right.
That sounds right.
We'll see. Call of Duty Warzone has had 125 million players since launch. Call of Duty Mobile has had over 650 million downloads, and the Call of Duty series has sold over 425 million copies in total.
And that's why there was a 12-minute gameplay demo at the Game Fest.
And that's why,
showcase.
yes. Yeah, it's it's still the biggest franchise in the world, like the biggest annual release franchise, although it sounds like next year it won't be one of those either. So, but it'll take a break and come back likely under Microsoft, and we'll see what happens with the future of Call of Duty. I'll say that maybe that's one of the reasons I'm also excited about Modern Warfare 2, because I know there's going to be 2 years of support at least for that game, right?
Right.
2 years of support without everyone getting distracted by the new one. And there's something compelling about that to me, where it's like, if I made this my shooter for the next couple of years, I know that I'll probably have people to play with throughout that entire time. So maybe there's something.
I'm more excited to see the modern or the Warzone 2 reveal. Just because hopefully it's going to be a standalone thing, not necessarily like not in the same launcher so to speak, as Modern Warfare 2. Yep. Now they know what they're doing. They can keep that client a little leaner, so it's not like 150 gigabytes. They can, develop it as its own bespoke thing. They can integrate with the other games without being so tied into them, like in weird ways. And I think Warzone is a really fun battle royale, and I'd like to see them just kind of have the chance now to clean it up.
Yeah, Officer Problem in chat says support. You mean for Warzone 2 while everything gets shafted? That's likely correct. You're right. That Warzone 2 will be the darling, and that's just the future of that series, it seems like. Diablo Immortal has had over 10 million installs, and it's, of course, the fastest growing game in franchise history. Like, very little surprise there,
it's free, so yeah.
I literally
hate that. Yeah, they're like, guys, we downloaded, so many people installed this game. Like, it didn't cost anything. How many people are playing it?
I installed it. I have not played it. They're like, I have in parentheses here, duh. I just wrote duh. So, yeah. We'll check out that game probably periodically. I want to see how people feel about it.
I'll talk about it at the end of the show. I've been playing actually quite a bit of it.
The Pokemon Company has sold 60 million video games in the last fiscal year. That's a pretty astonishing number. I bet, yes, you have kids of that age, right? So it has once again taken root. It has found fertile soil in a new generation once again.
It's evergreen. It's like 18-year-olds getting sent a razor in the mail. Right. There's new kids every day, and I every time I see now a Pokemon game announced, or Sonic Origins even, I don't see a $60 purchase. I see a $240 purchase in my future, because I play it still. I like Pokemon games still. Walter, my youngest, he's maybe not quite there yet for Scarlet and I almost said Nexus 2. What is it even?
It's purple, Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet, yeah.
Fucking Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus. just a
That's
detriment to
their
us trying to
SEO
talk
is
about
like,
this game.
look, why is
Yes.
everyone searching our game right now? This is great. But yeah, but my girls like it's. I actually appreciate now they sell those 2-packs. So I'll just go buy the 2-pack, and here you go,
Yes.
girls. Each you pick a color, and I got mine over here, and we're good to go. So I mean,
And-
there's a
and
reason
that's
these
how you-
games sell. They're
That's how
universally
you sell
beloved.
60 million copies in a year. Yeah, exactly. 60 million games in total. It's, I mean, when you hear about them talking about Sony saying that, and this is a news story as well, Last of Us Part 2 has sold 10 million copies. And that's after dropping in price over time. And in the natural cycle of things, that's totally normal. It's not anything bad against Last of Us Part 2.
That's a good number. That's a really good
It's
number.
a really good number. Very strong sales for an M-rated game, like all that stuff. But it's like, and then the Pokemon games in 1 year, across all their games, of course, but still 60 million copies. And those games rarely dropping in price.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia has bought a $1 billion stake in Embracer just to make Dr. Evil happy, apparently. This is about 8% of the company. I mean, we're going to have these stories, I think, once a month for the foreseeable future. You know, if it's not Saudi Arabia, it'll be Tencent. It'll become like these big entities that are looking to diversify. They have a lot of money. And this is, you know, it's the same thing with like the real estate market where putting money in the bank, having money in your account is worthless. It's a liability. They are looking for places to put their money that could turn into a 15% or 500% return. Doesn't matter. Just anywhere in that range is good for them. Obviously, the 500% return is better. But if it's a 15% return, that is still way better than buying a bond from the government and getting 4 to 8%. So this is just them continuing to diversify, and because gaming is obviously still growing, this is going to keep happening. Annapurna founded an internal studio in 2020, and the Solar Ash developer Chelsea Hash will lead development of that project. I never played Solar Ash. How about you, Ash Guy?
No, I'm not even quite sure what it is.
I think it's a like Tron-looking skating game. I think maybe I'm wrong about that.
But
let's
use the internet to find out what it looks like.
Yeah. So Annapurna, obviously one of these up and coming publishers. They've had recent like reports about their culture maybe not being the best. Maybe having sort of an LA bro dude culture actually, and sort of not heeding warnings from people at the studios that they work with, saying, "Hey, the person in charge of the studio is a monster," and then being like, "Well, can you get the game out?" At least that's what the report said. These things are all alleged. Annapurna now having an internal studio, I will be interested to hear stories about the culture at that studio going forward and see if it's any better or not. Was I right about Solar Ash?
Yeah, I do remember seeing this.
Okay.
It's got like a kind of you're right, like a neon vibe to it.
Yes, exactly. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl has added voice acting and items. Now I know it didn't have voice acting. I didn't know it didn't have items. So this must have been Mike Minotti's favorite game ever.
Well, yeah, because I've only played it once at Mike's, and the lack of items, I guess I just took it for granted that we never play with items. But I've always said, playing it was fun. Like the gameplay was totally fine, but it just felt dead. You have all these iconic cartoon characters from my youth, and they're just not saying anything. Smash Brothers isn't like they're not chatty in that game, but you've got Falcon Punch and all that stuff, and that gives some life to the game.
Like just do that much, but like is that kind of what they're doing now with these voice actors?
So I don't know. I haven't played it yet. It was on PS Plus this month, so I have it. I just haven't gotten a chance to fire it up. But like even in the wake of Multiverses too, which was like.
Right.
They were very proud of the fact like we got all these voice actors and everything's in here. I'm honestly shocked they did it. I think it's a nice little vote of confidence in the game that they want to support it, and they decided, this game has a future. Let's invest the time, the money, get the talent, and do these voice lines. So that's super cool. So yeah, I mean, it definitely makes me want to go play it some more now, especially now that I have it on PS Plus. So good on them.
Let's see here. Got a few more stories. Some new reporter named Jeff Gersman on the Jeff Gersman Show said that Minecraft RTS is happening, and that is true. I can confirm that as well. That is happening.
Interesting.
Yes. So when you hear that, what do you think, AJ? Is that something that you are interested? To me, that sounds like okay. I could see that working. The thing about RTS is there's so much happening.
You're gathering resources and
Yeah.
building. I mean, is there going to be a fighting component? I wonder. I mean, again, you think of Minecraft, you think of, you could base build and mine in the day, and then at night an undead zombie horde is coming at you with the creepers, and now you got to defend your base, and that could work. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it.
The Battlefield team is not growing. This comes from some schmuck named Jeff Grubb on
Boy, did he get this one wrong?
Yeah, right. So Jeff Grubb, I don't know who this is. I would never support him though. He said a skeleton crew is working on Battlefield and that they're only going to meet their DLC obligations. EA says that isn't true. And I'll talk about this more on a Giant Bomb show as well, but just like to say here, the way they reached out, like, hey, this is not true. And then the statement they gave, to me, it sounded like the thing that they have issue with is the term skeleton crew, which if that makes it sound like there's 10 to 20 people working on the game, that's not the case. Here's the way I would put it. Think about how many hundreds, over thousands of people are working on Call of Duty. There is nothing close to that working on Battlefield. And they are putting modes into like out to the pasture, like their special mode that they introduced with this game already dead. They are not growing that team that is working on Battlefield 2042. They probably have maybe a couple hundred people, 100, 200 people working on that game. And okay, is that a skeleton crew? Maybe I misworded that. Maybe that word is wrong. But that team is not going to be like working on tons and tons of content for that game. They are not going to be adding huge amounts of stuff to Portal or things like that. It is going to be, they're going to meet their commitments. And they said that we are committed to this game. And I think they are. They're committed to what they said they're going to do. And they're going to make sure it's not like a complete shit show when they finally do let it go. But they are in the process of moving on to the next one. And they are not going to grow that team into some massive thing to bring that game back from the dead. So
what's the value now? The game's out. It has this stink about it. Do you really think you're gonna turn it around? I mean, the best you could do is Final Fantasy 14 it, which is making a new game.
Yes.
So make the new game. You've got Vince Zampella installed at the top now. He could bring his design methodology of prototyping, playtesting, building the fun, and then build the game. And you can do that while you have this whatever size crew continuing to support 2042. So yeah, obviously they're getting ready for the next big new thing.
And EA might continue to have issues with how I'm phrasing that, and I'll continue.
EA loves you, so
yeah. I'll do my best to try to have this conversation with them, but I still think in general the spirit of that report is accurate, and I'll say that most people seem to understand that. Netflix is making a Dragon Age Absolution animated series. This takes place in the Dragon Age universe. I haven't had a chance to check out this trailer. Ashkai, have you? What do you think?
Yeah, it was very much a teaser, but it's got that kind of now familiar Netflix faux anime style to it. Doesn't really give it much plot. It was really just much of like, look at how we took Dragon Age and made it look kind of like an anime. And do you want to watch it? Maybe. I don't know. We're Netflix. We don't know what we're doing. Which is the sense I get. So yeah.
Yep. I kind of like, I think they had a lot of success with Castlevania, a lot of success with what's the one based on
League of Legends. It's got a name. Thank you, Arcane.
Thank you. So yeah, I get them wanting to keep going to this. Well, it's probably going to keep working for them. I'm fine with this. This is fine. Go ahead and make a Dragon Age cartoon. I have an update for the Game Mess. The Xbox has announced a follow-up show for Tuesday, June 14th, where they will probably, I don't know this for sure, so don't act like I've talked to him and gotten these details. I don't know. I bet they get Paris Lilly back on Tuesday to interview some people and get longer conversations with the people working on the games that we're going to see on Sunday.
This is their Treehouse Live. Yeah.
This is their Treehouse Live. It's the right way to do this, right? That you do the nonstop assault on the senses on Sunday, and then you stop to talk on Tuesday. It makes so much sense in the world. Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary event then happens on June 16th. So that should be that Thursday. What do you
10 minute long?
10 minute.
I'm expecting the announcement of the Xbox version of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1.
Then why wouldn't that happen at the Xbox showcase, you think?
It's possible. Maybe it does happen there. Like Square's done this before, where they like announce something at a partner show and then like quasi announce it again with a slightly different twist at their own thing. maybe they're doing that. I did have to laugh because I saw this headline. I was like, oh yeah, 25 years of Final Fantasy. That sounds about right. And then I was like, wait, oh god, that's just Final Fantasy 7. Fuck, I'm old.
Yes.
No.
Speak of Skeleton Crew, that you're looking at it right here, everybody. And then the Annapurna Interactive Showcase is on July 28th. So maybe we'll see that game from the Solar Ash developer. Finally here for the news, and then we'll get to some of your super chats. The ESA, the Entertainment Software Association, which argues for video game rights in Washington, or did once upon a time, said that E3 is coming back in 2023. And I don't know.
Let's fucking go. It's happening.
Well, I mean, they could try, but like they for the first time now have competition, and Keeley's already said not only will the Game Fest showcase be back next year, but he's going to have an in-person event. And we don't know what that is. Is that a public event? Is it a press event? I mean, there's a press event going on right now.
Right. I bet it goes like he has a stage event, and then after the stage event, you can walk out to a big parking lot that has food trucks and a lot of video game stations. And it happens in LA, so it's not going to rain. Like, yeah, that's
he just totally stole their time slot. Like, are they going to be at the same time in the same city?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I mean, they can do what they want. It's just, are people going to play ball? I mean, people didn't like how they've handled E3 in the past. They lost a lot of favor with a lot of you guys when they had your addresses just in a open Excel file on their web server. I don't think people want E3, as it was, and they don't have faith in the ESA to evolve it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I don't faith in the ESA to do it even the way they used to do it. Like, let alone
right. Yeah. They somehow they lost something, and I don't know what it was in the last 5 years.
Core competency got lost by
they had this there's a segment where these two hairy guys went on and started talking about some old stuff that really kind of killed the vibe.
Right. I would never watch that shit ever again.
No, it was terrible. You shouldn't. But, when they lost Jeff Keighley, it did feel like, wow, like if Keighley doesn't believe in this anymore, and maybe that was opportunistic on him to be like, I could just do this myself and just own it. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it sucks because, as someone who's not a industry professional but does still follow the industry very well, I do like the myth of E3. Mike would go and tell me all the stories. I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. Maybe I'll go someday. Cool. I don't know. And there's still like that, it still has that Super Bowl air about it. Like, this was our day or our week or whatever it was. And that's when the world stopped and everyone celebrated video games, talked about video games, revealed video games. And does it need to be E3 to do that? Can it be Summer Game Fest? Can it just be this week we carve out in June and there's all kinds of things going on? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see, but I don't know. E3 might truly, get your shirts, guys. I think that they stopped going on sale very soon.
Yes, get your E3's Dead shirts. The links are below this, and they're in the description if you're listening to the podcast later. I'll say that I've heard rumors about what may be happening with that show next year in terms of like who they might partner with, and if they do this, and I can't confirm it, but I'll just say it sounds like it will be going much more in the fan-friendly direction, and maybe that is the only way to make that make sense anymore. So I guess we'll see. I'll try to confirm that.
Even that, if I was like, hey, AJ, you can go to the E3 fan event, like, that's not real E3.
Right. Yep.
I want to go to the real E3.
I think a lot of people still will probably pay for that.
Oh, for sure. I don't know if that's... I mean, for me, that's not the kind of thing I buy a ticket to LA to go do.
That's
like
fair.
You would a PAX or a Comic-Con or something like that. That's, if you're local, if you're in the area, sure, stop on by.
All right, we have a bunch of super chats here. Let's get into those. Ashga, do you need a break?
No, I'm good. If you're good,
I'm good. Let's keep going. We got Frank.
Let's do it.
Frank became a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Frank. I really appreciate that. Welcome. Make sure you get into the Discord. Make sure you check out those channels. There is a premium general hangout there. Industry Secrets, come hang out. Podcast Producers is one where we're in there a lot, so feel free to hop in there. Abe Froman 3 asks, hey, Jeff, congratulations on Giant Bomb. Thank you so much, Abe Froman. I appreciate that. Is that your full-time job now, or are you doing writing anywhere? Thanks again for all the great content. So my full-time job is, I think my title is producer, like video content producer, something like that at Giant Bomb. Like, that is my full-time job. But as part of that, I've agreed to do some writing for GameSpot, where if I have a breaking news story and I need to be the one to write it, I'm going to write it. But I'm also going to be like partnering with them in terms of, if I have a breaking news story right as I'm about to go live with the Game Mess show, the Morning Mess show. God, there it happened already. God damn it.
Told you.
Fucking God damn it. The Morning Mess show. It's I could be like, okay, so Tam, who's available to write this? Can you get me a writer? I'll give them the details, and as I say it, they can be like, Jeff Grubb said this on the show, and that way it's not always just, as much as I love you, Jordan Midler, if you're watching, it's not just VGC getting all our clicks. It could be something that's sort of synergistic with the. Man, I can't believe I just said that word, but you know what I mean. With
how many activations are you gonna get?
It's gonna be so many fucking activations, AJ. You have no fucking idea. It's gonna be nuts. Activations. From Uriel Delgado, one of my favorite pieces of classical music, no joke, is Claire de Lune. I also like the composer of that song, Claude Debussy. Happy Friday, meat man.
Damn it.
Motherfucker.
No. You know what? I mean, you know what? Good on you. Good on you.
Well done. That was a long walk and one that was well worth it. So thank you, Uriel.
Yes. At least he gave you money for it. So
yes, at least he gave $5 for that seems about right. Jesse Norris, congrats on the GB gig, Jeff. You are the best. Thank you, Jesse. I've seen your DMs and I really appreciate it. People have been saying a lot of nice things. I'll say that I made the mistake of going to Reset Era and seeing their response, and they are still so mad about that goddamn trial. And I'm just like, I just don't know how to explain to them. I just honestly don't care. I'm sorry that you got so mad about this thing that I half thought about and don't care at all about. But they are just so mad. They're like, he defended Amber Heard. I'm like, I honestly barely even know who that is. I barely know who Amber Heard is. I know she was in a movie with the guy that everyone says I look like if he was put in a microwave. And that's about it. From Manuel Sanchez. Just leak the Xbox stuff, Mr. Aquaman. There it is right there. Listen, I don't know it this year, and I'm very excited. We just got to make the Sunday, man. We'll be fine. I'll say that
almost here.
Right, we could put a lot of 2 and 2s together. Josh Sawyer's out there talking about. He's putting the winky face. His game's probably going to be there. We're probably going to see stuff like Avowed. We probably will get something from the Coalition and Compulsion and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of stuff there that we could probably
20
put
minutes
2 and 2
of
together.
Starfield, baby.
Yes, and lots of Starfield where we'll see Redfall, but at that point, it's that's almost way less fun than either just leaking it or just watching it. So let's just watch it. From Jez, hi, I love you guys. Happy not E3. Happy not E3 to you as well. From Jacob Bench, AJ, what is something embarrassing about Mike? Yes, here we go.
Oh boy. Okay, so since he was a kid, I think this has come up on the show before. Mike has this weird habit of drinking out of the side of his mouth. So if he's got a can of soda or a cup, he does
it's true.
Like that for some reason. I don't know why. On top of that, he gets an itch inside of his nose that he's not picking his nose. He's just going at the outside like this, but he's got allergies and shit. So there's stuff in there and it makes this clicking, popping sound. And he's been doing that for a very long time. Finally, I'll leave you with this parting note. When he was a little kid, the saying in our family was, if Mikey ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Yes.
And he invented the funniest joke in the world that he told at least twice a day for years. How do you make rainbow sunglasses, Jeff?
I don't know. How do you make rainbow sunglasses?
You throw sunglasses at a rainbow.
Oh my God.
You had to think that was the funniest joke you'd ever heard, or he
oh no! Oh no! All right, well,
but he turned 18 and it all stopped. I'm just kidding. It was much younger than that. But there you go. They're the 3 nuggets of Michael history that I'll share with you.
I want
tonight.
everyone just $1. Just everyone send in that joke next week as a super chat, so Mike has to read it over and over and over again. All right, let's see here. From Nitin Derek, thank you for that, AJ. I really appreciate those little bits of nuggets about Mike. Nitin Derek says, anything info on the Direct on Wednesday leak? Okay, so I still haven't heard this. I think that there is a possibility. I bet the reason we haven't heard about it is maybe because it's going to be a Direct mini, and that is in line with the stuff I have heard, which again I've not been able to confirm. The things I have heard is that this is going to be a series of smaller things. And I don't know if those things are all mini directs or a partner direct and a mini direct or Twitter announcements and YouTube drops. I have no idea what it looks like. But last year, like they announced this 2 weeks ahead of time. This year, they're still quiet. And if there is a direct next week, a mini direct that they just put on YouTube.
Yeah, they tend to announce those. A mini direct gets announced like the day before.
Yes, if at all.
Whenever they do them. Yeah.
The one time I was like, there's going to be a direct tomorrow. And they never announced it that day. And I had an ulcer because they wouldn't fucking just say the thing. And everyone's like, Jeff Grubb's a fucking fraud. And I'm like, yeah, I might be. I don't know. I think it's supposed to happen. And then the next day came and they just launched it. It's a direct mini right on their YouTube channel. And it was a huge relief. But yeah, they didn't announce that one at all before. So I feel like as we get closer and closer, that seems more and more in line with what to expect from that.
Probably just a quick update. Like, we know what their year looks like. And,
right.
There could be some surprises. Metroid could happen.
I mean, they probably have partners that need a direct, right? They probably have partners that they've told, hey, we're going to have direct in June. So yeah, we'll show your stuff in there. This is part of our agreement or whatever. And they're like, oh, now we got to meet those obligations, even though we're not exactly super happy about having to do one of those. So let's just do a mini direct and kind of keep somewhat to our cadence. It makes some sense. I
mean, I just think, again, Sony had a show, Microsoft's having a show. They probably don't want to be left out of that zeitgeist.
Yeah,
there is something going on right now.
I bet Nintendo of America is definitely thinking a lot about that. I think you're right. And there's like teams there that are like responsible for putting these things together. Are they just going to sit there and do nothing? Like, no, they're probably trying to always put something like this together. From Amories, anything about Arc Raiders, please? And that please is all capitalized. I don't know. I hope we see Arc Raiders at the Xbox show because I think that would be another good one. Where that is Patrick Soderlund, right? And he was like EA's chief operating officer for a while. He has a pretty good relationship with Microsoft, even though I think they're owned by Nexon now. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, as part of this whole thing, they're like, hey, let's. Like that game, I think is going to be free to play. Is that right, Christian? I know you're big about Arc Raiders. Is that free to play?
Yes, it's going to be free to play. Yes,
it's probably going to be free to play. I wouldn't be surprised if like they made some deal like if you get the version off Game Pass or something, like you get a bunch of bonus stuff, or maybe it's like next to Fortnite, Arc Raiders will be free to play through the cloud or whatever. Or
that could be a thing. And then maybe Game Pass Ultimate members get perks or something.
Exactly. So. I hope we see it at the Xbox Showcase. Mostly, I'm hoping that because that means it's still coming later this year, and we can play that game because it does look fantastic.
Yeah, the last update I heard about that game is that from the investor call, they said that at the end of May they were starting to do external testing, from people outside the studio. And that's it. And
I wonder if that meant like what are the consultants? I wonder if they started like testing it with consultants. I wonder if that's what's happening. From William Karuna, Forza is 2023. Does first party have anything 2022? Has someone said that Forza's 2023?
Yeah, there's a rumor going around because we saw that there was a leak of the Hot Wheels expansion for Forza Horizon 5, and I don't know if that's what's informing this. But now that the word going around I saw today was that's going to be the fall Forza release is this DLC, and that's going to push Motorsport 8 into 2023. But I'd hope not. I mean, that game would be the one good thing that they can get out big this holiday. That would be a good Game Pass game.
Turnitin has had a lot of time to work on that game.
It's been a long time since 7.
Pandemic did happen, and we always have to remember that.
Yeah.
Tom Anderson said Forza Motorsport is 2023. Okay, I wouldn't be too surprised by that because the pandemic did happen, and if they have that DLC, so yeah, that makes sense.
That would be a bummer because I am excited for that. But Hot Wheels and Forza Horizon. Hot Wheels and Forza Horizon 3 was fantastic. The Lego one in 4 was okay, but didn't quite live up to the Hot Wheels, so I'm very excited that's coming back.
Let's see here. From Nintendo Bro. Only doing this because Mike is not here this week, Jeff. I just beat Hollow Knight. It is very good, and you need to try it out again. I intend to. I know. I bet that game's actually pretty good, but you're right. We can only say this when Mike's not here.
Someday. I started it, and for some reason bounced off. I don't know why. I think it is a little slow feeling in the beginning, and that might have just been it. But I'll get to it.
From Rash Patel, Elite Controller 3 next week? Maybe. I don't know. it would be nice to have one with a share button, and I think as we get a little bit further along, maybe that makes sense.
Have I told you my easy solution for that? That
What?
they can have a share button. So you got that button where the share button would be. It's like your profile switch.
Yes.
Just have that. Click, screenshot, hold down, video. But if you hold it and start hitting the bumpers, now you're going through your profiles.
Oh, that's
Boom.
fantastic.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do, and it's done. Make a little
That's
firmware
fantastic.
update. Do it.
Let's see. From Scissor85, did Mike get the night off so he could get
Damn it. Listen,
Get-
that's my
get
brother, you
punani.
sicko.
Listen, what happens in LA or in E3 LA?
Look,
stays
it just
in
depends.
E3 LA.
Is The Rock a generous wingman, or
Yes.
does he keep it all for himself? I don't know. I haven't hung out with him in a while.
Yes,
so,
he's gonna get the Rock's splash damage. Yeah, exactly. From Nintendo Bro live studio audience for the Morning Mess win. I keep pitching that we should do a live show podcast with the audience right in front of us. Sell tickets for like a big live show or something like that. Don't tell anyone I've said this, but the idea would be to make something like that happen. I think eventually, like within the year. But there's a lot of logistics that go into that. A lot of making Matt Rory do a lot of extra work. So I have no idea, but I would love to make that happen. From M.
I know a freelance guy who doesn't live far from you who knows how video works. Just saying.
All right, yeah, perfect. Let's make it happen. Let's get on the Amtrak and we'll go to Dan Reichert's house and do a show.
There you go.
From M. Goldie, for AJ is the game. I bet he'll know your name. I bet he won't call you Mitch. That'll be very good. From M. Goldie, for AJ is the game American Arcadia just an alternate universe where Walt lived long enough to build the Epcot he dreamed of?
Okay, I'm glad someone brought this up because I did, and I meant to bring this up before for that game. Everyone was like, "Oh, Truman Show," and I'm the only nerd out there. It's like Epcot, but kind of bad. That'd be cool because that game does look really neat, and I do like that vibe, like from that framework of like this is like the utopia that Epcot said it was going to be, but then it turns dystopic on the inside. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. But I am very excited about that game.
All right. We got a couple more here, and then we caught up on super chats from Vecna 00. Hey Jeff, the new giant bomb Grubb, and AJ, the better Minotti. The best part of that whole Game Fest was Casey Mother effing Jones. I mean, I don't think I even disagree with
I'm not going to argue with you. Yeah,
that's
not at all.
I mean, maybe who knows? Maybe I've played something like that game, and maybe that's a good thing. Let's see. Jesse Norris. I played Hollow Knight. It's fine, not great. There we go. I mean, I feel like with that said, I don't have to play
That's
it anymore.
definitive. Yeah, we're done. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse. All right.
All right, let's get to the Discords.
Thank you very much. Let's get into it.
Look at how ready I am. I'm so much
You're
better
on
at this
top
than
of
Mike.
things. Yeah, God,
Okay,
fucking amateur.
here, listen. I'm gonna try to do this the way Mike does it. I just need to disclaim this. I've been podcasting with Mike for almost 15 years. He didn't start doing this till a year ago. Let's see if you pick up on it.
Okay.
All right, for our first message from Velocity Prime 1. He says, Game Mess is dead. Long live Game Mess. Anyway, I recently got my grubby mitts, I get it, on an Ain Odin and played through For the Frog, The Bell Tolls on the original Game Boy.
Oh no!
It's a neat little game, being most notable as a Nintendo-developed project that never made it west until a fan's translation. So my question, what is your favorite game that you experienced through an unofficial translation, ROM hack, or lost emulation?
Okay, I'm sorry, I got scared because someone appeared in our call while you were doing.
Hey, how's it going?
We were just talking about you all.
We're just all good things. All good things.
I tell you what, my favorite fan translated game ever is I don't know.
If Jeff's distracted when you're reading these things, what are you doing here now as I'm trying to read them?
Wildfire Alex is taking me back to my hotel room because he's very nice.
That is very nice of him. Thank you, Wildfire Alex.
Yes, thank you, Wildfire Alex.
Yes.
MTX says, ask him about the punani.
No.
Hey, did you guys see my water bottle? Did you see my water bottle?
I saw the text. I was going to get to that towards the end. Don't worry. I'll show them the water bottle.
Yeah, show them my water bottle.
Michael, this was going very well till you showed up. It was very smooth.
I'm an agent of chaos.
Oh, God. No. Oh, no.
He's Shopify. You got
He's
Joker
been,
5.
he's been to
Lord.
LA for a second. He got
Yeah,
Joker 5.
just done. All right. Anyway, I'll answer the question if
Please,
you'd
yeah,
like.
let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was a thing I was obsessed with in college, like all these like fan translations and hacks for ROM. So this is how I first experienced playing any of Final Fantasy V, because that was the only way you could play it back in the day. Live Alive or Live a Live or whatever. I still have that like loaded in
Oh, wow.
in one of my emulators right now, so I didn't fire it up because like, oh, I'll just play the real one when that comes out. The other one was Rockman and Bass, which was a Super Nintendo Mega Man game that never made it stateside. That was like kind of a Mega Man
Oh, that's my answer.
9.
Alex.
Yeah, like it's phenomenal. It's just another Mega Man game that just never got released here, and you got to play as
Game Boy Advance later, and it's not a very good port. So
that port was real bad. That's right. I forgot all about it. Yeah, go get the ROM and get the translation for it. It's just fun. It's a good Mega Man game. So play that on your Ain Odin. All right, Dr. Turbo
wait,
stuff.
but real quick,
Sorry, did you have an answer?
Captain Rainbow is mine. I got this actually like a couple weeks ago. It is a Wii game that never came out here, and you play as a superhero kid who loses his powers, but then has a ton of like weird Nintendo references. I played like a couple hours of it, and it plays so good with mouse and a keyboard on Dolphin that I'm like, I'm just gonna save this and play it on stream. And now I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna play it on Giant Bomb. So I'm like gonna maybe start a UPF and then see if I can convince everyone to like actually let me play through the whole thing on Giant Bomb.
Jeff, how played those Tingle games? Those must have fan translations for the DS.
No, the Tango's Rosy Rupee Land came out in Europe.
With
full English language.
Never mind.
So I have played them. And Tingo's Rosy Rupee Land is fantastic. It's a game where the whole mechanic is you go up to characters and they're selling stuff that you need, and you need to guess how much money they want for the thing. And if you don't guess high enough, they just take your money and don't give you anything. So do you like give them a ton of money and then you lose money on the other side by overpaying? And it's like this weird capitalism mechanic. It's fantastic. It's a really good game, actually. It's maybe only good for me, but I think it's a good game.
Nice. All right, Dr. Turbo says, hey, not going to lie, I was a little worried about the future of the podcast and the community when watching last week's episode. So here's just an appreciation message. Thanks for this whole thing, and I hope you can keep it going.
We will. We definitely will.
Yes.
Like, that's the whole idea is when I went to Giant Bomb, they're like, we want people to be able to do their own thing on their own time, and we don't want to get in the way at all. And like just today, they're like, okay, what's your Twitch thing? So when we're not streaming, we could just host your stuff that you're posting to Twitch. I'm like, oh, that's really nice. That's fantastic. So
too bad I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And so I'll still. I mean, I do stream some games on Twitch, but we do the podcast on YouTube. But it's like, no, this is fantastic. And then when I'll be like kind of labbing ideas on Twitch, and then maybe we'll just take it to Giant Bomb, and it's going to kind of each thing's going to feed into the other, and I think that's the positive way of doing things.
Yep, nice.
Awesome.
All right, Willem DeHoe likes Froyo says, Dear Grug and Mog, sorry, it's just Ag today. Now that Jeff finds himself with newfound powers over at the Giant Bomb headquarters, I demand he uses them to will the Mike Biscotti show into existence. Mike's Biscottis, the sister show to Grubb Snacks you never knew you craved. Okay, has anyone picked up on the thing I'm making fun of that Mike does where he like does that weird...
Yes.
Like, he says, like, every word as a sentence at the end of every question. Has no one noticed this? Because it drives me fucking crazy.
I have
every
noticed
week.
it, but it's like, I'm like, I have to be paying attention so I can understand the question. Maybe it's Mike's fault. I can't ever understand what he's talking about because he speaks in this way now. So, yeah.
I'm going to stop doing it now, but I want to see if anyone was paying attention to that.
I was like, maybe this is how my naughties talk. But now, yes, absolutely. He definitely does that.
He didn't do that like a year ago, so I don't know. But anyway, I might have this wrong. I don't think Mike actually likes biscotti. He thinks they're dry, and he doesn't have much of a sweet tooth, and he doesn't drink coffee. So biscotti is not really in Mike's wheelhouse. I mean, the rhyme is obviously appropriate. But yeah, sorry, you're going to have to find another pastry. Mike's pizzelles, but again, our great-grandmother's was pizza ferrato. You might be able to work with that. That's all I got for you, sorry.
Fantastic. All
right, Winnie says, it is great seeing Jeff happy to be on the Bombcast as part of the crew and how supportive Mike has been for him. Aww. It should have been in the wholesome direct. How can we create more opportunities for positive and supportive masculinity in gaming spaces? Well, I mean, I'll jump in here and say I think communities like this are a great way to do that. You know, the the internet sucks, to be frank, and there's a lot of vitriol out there when you expose yourself to the open internet. And I think finding communities, finding friends to game with, finding like-minded individuals that you can spend your time with and talk about the games is how you create that supportive community, and not by going into random lobbies of Call of Duty.
Yes, the internet is just a cold, hard breeze that blows away any protection you have around yourself. And you can't, that installation just doesn't exist naturally. You have to build it up around yourself, and you have to be around other people who are going to reinforce it. And that's it's honestly what Discord's been great at since the beginning, and it just keeps getting better as it enables these communities more and more.
That's why we're talking right now, Jeff and I, because we were involved with 1UP, we were involved with the Squadron of Shame, and then that grew to become Bitmob, and next thing you know, I'm at your wedding, and then you guys are off the games beat, and here we are. Like, that's how that went. So
that's exactly how it happened. And it's like,
I'll get a little old man in my rocking chair talking to you youngins out there, but you guys are here in this Discord talking to each other. You don't know. You
are probably going to end up at someone in this Discord's wedding eventually. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's very likely. So there you go. There, take that to the bank with you, youngins. Delta Prime 84 says, "Hey, Ohio boys," still applicable. I am in Ohio. Following on from my question on Grubb Snacks, I might not have a chance of getting my friends to play iRacing with me, but maybe I can meet them halfway and get them to play the new Forza Motorsport with me instead. Yes, they have Xboxes. What are the chances of it showing up at Key 3? So we talked about this before, but the rumor is now that it might be getting pushed. I think we still might see it on Sunday.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so we'll get. And like I said, we got the Horizon
update on that game. It's been too long. They have to give an update on it.
It's kind of expected now. So they got to say something.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a great series. I'm not a big sim racer guy. I've tried to get into Gran Turismo and just can't for some reason, but Forza always clicked with me. I've always played the Forza games. I really like them.
Yeah. A big part of it is honestly the feedback in those triggers. Like, I know that's
it makes even the DualSense controller didn't feel the right way to me. Like, I'm just used to the way those triggers feel.
They tell me what the road under the tires is doing, and it helps me play the games better. So
yeah. Beefhammer says, "I'm sending this in on Wednesday before Summer Game Fest, but I have no doubt that on Friday we will all be celebrating the gameplay they showed off for Silksong, Elden Ring DLC, God of War Ragnarok, and Metroid Prime 4. Yes, I'm delirious in mirth.
Yeah.
Considering all these were definitively shown, was there anything else that you expected but didn't get from the showcase?" Well, you talked about you thought Kojima's thing was going to show up.
I did.
That was missing. It just feels like for all the Dead Space knockoffs we got, it's kind of interesting that we didn't get Dead Space. That's probably not ready to show. They announced something in the fall already, right, Jeff?
They're on their own pathway where they show off a little bit here, a little bit there, and they're going to show a full gameplay reveal in October. So yeah, but you're right. It is. It's not exactly ironic. That's not exactly the definition, but it feels like what ironic should mean, that we got all of those other things, but not Dead Space.
Hosp says, "Heyo, messy boys. Inspired by Grugg's move, I have been clearing out my flat recently and found a bunch of Assassin's Creed books bought during the height of my obsession. After 100%ing AC2, I never actually touched them or even the series again. Do you guys have any gaming fiction books you really like? I love those first couple of Halo books." I have one. It's a very odd, specific one. It's gaming related. There is a series of Magic the Gathering books, and for some reason, when I was in high school, maybe in middle school, I picked up a copy of one called The Thran or something like that. It was, and I got sick one day. I was homesick, and I read the entire book. It was about like a plague under a city that I guess is in Magic the Gathering lore. But I just remember like reading that book that day, and so yeah, that was really. I haven't read a ton other gaming fiction. I mean, part of why I play games is the interactivity of it. So when I read a book, sometimes it's fun to get a little bit of stuff fleshed out, but it's not why I go to gaming lore to read about it like that.
I read the Dark Forces novels about Kyle Katarn, and actually was like looking for the second book for a really long time, because apparently I don't think it was very popular, so I don't think they did a huge print of the second book. But then we were moving, not this last time, but the time before that, and my Dark Forces book was on the ground in the basement, and it got just a little bit wet, but it got totally ruined. And then for Father's Day, my wife found a copy of both books and got them ordered for me and got them sent to me. So I was able to read them again. And they're pretty fun. They're pretty fun books. So, and then the Balan Wonderworld book, of course.
Of course,
which I've read about 25% of maybe, and boy, is that a rough one.
I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. Okay, Lucian says, "Hey, Game Meat Boys. Jeff, 2 squares per wipe Grubb. Hope you are doing well and hope you got your van. AJ, the other Minotti.
The van's done. The transmission's completely kaput, so I'm probably not going to get the van for a couple of weeks, but we'll see.
We had, to go on a tangent, we had a similar thing happen to us. We got a new van my dad bought. This wasn't a minivan. This was like a van that we drove down to Florida with a trailer towed behind it. And that was like not even a month after he bought it. Like, that's why we bought it, in part, was for this trip. And it was on the drive home, and we were in West Virginia, and my dad I just remember him going, "Oh, crap." I was like, "What's wrong?" He goes, "I don't know, like, the car's, like, not responding," and it just died on the side of the road. So here we are with this giant van, a trailer being towed behind it, and this dead van. So a lady in the little S10 pickup truck, part of the courtesy patrol, picked up my mom, Mike, and Chris and took them to a nearby McDonald's while we waited for a tow company that could both get the van and the trailer to show up. So this guy comes, picks us all up, takes us back to his place where they switched to an older tow truck they had, but it could fit all, now 6 of us in the vehicle, so he could tow us back to Ohio. And this was like by this point, 11 o'clock at night. And we were like 6 or 7 hours from home. And this dude, like, my dad and I sat up front with him. It was just bench seats. I'm in the middle.
Right.
You know, Mike, Chris, and Mom are in the back. They're all asleep. Dad and I stayed up with this guy because we felt bad that, like, he was going to have to drive all night. So we just, like, chit-chatted with him. We get home. He drops everything off. And my dad's like, you know, you're welcome to stay, get some sleep, grab a shower, whatever you need. And this guy goes, no, I've got some orange candies. They'll keep me awake. I'm going to drive home. We're like, are you okay? I mean, my dad very generously tipped this gentleman.
Yes,
I was like, holy crap, this is like the most impressive man ever. So yes, van transmissions don't seem to like cross-country trips, is the moral of the story.
I knew it was going to happen. I was like, of course it happened on the ride home. I'm sorry. What's the rest of the question?
Let's keep going. AJ, the other Minotti, hope your weekend plans are good. They are good. I just had my niece's birthday party tonight, so that was fun. Questions. With the rumor that Netflix is looking to buying Roku, how will this affect Netflix's plans to move into gaming? AJ, what is your best story about beating Mike in a video game? P.S. Jeff, congrats on the new house and new job. Let's talk about Netflix and Roku. I actually hadn't heard this rumor, Jeff. What do you know about this?
Me neither, but like, it makes a lot of sense because Netflix is looking around like, we need a live TV component to add to Netflix because, like, all the other servers, like, you can get like cable through Hulu, right? Like,
right.
Roku would have that capacity to be able, like, it has the technology to add that stuff real easy, and then it also has like all those free movie streaming things. It has ad supported stuff, and that's just easy money. Apparently, those free movie channels that are supported by ads are just raking in money for companies like Roku. So I think like you add that, and that just really quickly adds a source of revenue that Netflix desperately needs to like grow on top of. And then, you know, they have a ton of content that they can put on that stuff to support those ad supported channels. And just, if something's older, you just put it on the ad supported channel. Be like, okay, now through Netflix Roku Live TV, it is the Stranger Things channel, and we're just going to play Stranger Things ad supported 24/7. And that stuff is like going to be part of like the windowing of content for Netflix, where they're, you know, they don't get a lot from theaters, but they could continue to get stuff from that. So it makes a lot of sense for what Netflix needs.
I'd just be worried what this does to the Weird Al movie, because I need that to, you know, happen unimpeded. As far as beating Mike in a game, boy, I'm trying to think of a particular thing. What I can do is an adjacent answer to your question that's more embarrassing. Again, when we were younger, it wasn't so much that Mike wanted to play video games with me. He wanted to watch me play games, which would be obnoxious because, like, I'd be like, I don't want to play a game right now. He's like, no, go play Mega Man 3. I want to watch you play it. I mean, you go play it. I don't want to play Mega Man 3. No, you. So I'd have to sit there and then, you know, again, Mike ain't happy and nobody happy. So Dad'd be like, AJ, go play that game he wants to watch you play. Okay. So I'd go and I'd beat Mega Man 3 again, and Mike'd be watching, and that was what we did. So yeah, there you go. But
that
Mike
sounds like Mikey.
Mike and I collaborate now. We play Final Fantasy 14 together and other cooperative experiences. He's better than me at Smash Brothers.
Really,
I'll just say that
he's
now.
just in there. He's just watching you play, though. He's just watching you play Final Fantasy 14. He just has to go in there with himself and watch you play.
Living vicariously through me while he also plays. Yep. All right. Crangus McBasketball says, "Hi, Jeff and Mike. Is Ragnarok a fake game?" I don't think so.
Yeah,
is this a sounds good, or is it
sounds like a fake game? I don't know. People are like continue to be worried about it getting delayed and all this other stuff, but no, I think you're going to be playing that game before the end of the year.
One Up versus CPU asks, question for Grug, excuse me. What is Mike's cave sauna?
Yeah, so Mike Minotti, I don't know. Is it Minagi? Mogwi? I'm trying to think of it. Like, yeah, I think that's it. It's Minagi. There you go.
Minagi. Yeah. It's all just G's.
It's all just guttural sounds. Yes.
All right. Pinball Jr. says, "Hey, Jeff, will any of your Giant Bomb podcasts be on their premium service? Because it would feel weird paying two separate ways for podcasts from the same person."
No. The only things that we're going to keep on premium at Giant Bomb going forward are going to be things that are like, hey, we are doing a Discord Q&A. We are doing bonus stuff on Giant Bomb that is in addition to our main podcast content. All of our main content is going to be free for everyone going forward. Listen, it really made sense for a long time the way Giant Bomb operated, but in this reality, it's still important to be growing an audience. And the way to do that is to have the content mostly be free and available everywhere, wherever people are. And then we still have this really great infrastructure of both giantbomb.com and then the Discord to reach out to people who want to be premium members of the community. And we're going to add a ton of extra bonus stuff on top of that, but it's going to be bonus stuff. And if that means that you don't want to subscribe anymore, we've made our peace with that, but we're going to do our best to make sure that people who stay subscribed feel like they are getting like the royal treatment. But if you just want my content that I do on Giant Bomb, don't subscribe. You don't have to. You don't need to.
All right. Pablo Cos says, "Ahoy, mateys. Ahoy. Sure, Summer Game Fest may have the big budget trailers, all the sci-fi horror games, and even the Foundation himself, but only Summer Game Mess has the scoop on Jeff Grubb's showdown against the demonic child and how he managed to survive its curse. Jeff's van, not so much. What I'm saying is, keep on going, guys. Yes, the demon child will forever haunt our dreams, and may we all be safe from its wrath. Amen."
Yes. Apparently throwing rocks at it was a bad call, but who knew? Who knew?
You angered the spirits, Jeff.
Yes.
This is all your fault. Again. Ezipsis says, "Just wanted to ask, how are you doing, Jeff? Doing okay? It's been a big couple of weeks with moving house, moving states, and moving jobs. Just thought I'd check in and see how you are, as I know big changes like that can be quite stressful. You doing okay, buddy?"
I'm doing okay. I tell you what, the echo in this room is definitely starting to get to me. I want it to be over so bad, but all my stuff that I need for my office is still in other pods that won't get here till Monday, maybe Tuesday.
When you do the podcast published, Jeff, do you do anything to the audio from the feed, or you just throw it up?
No, I throw it. I use Auphonic, which I found to be very, very good about, especially levelating. But
I was gonna say
I do noise removal and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been using a similar thing called Descript, and it has this studio sound thing that is like literal magic. I've been using it at work a lot lately, and
well, I'll take a look at it and see if it met me.
Because like we have So quick update for those of you playing at home. I do marketing for the local university here in Youngstown, and we do a lot of alumni spotlight videos. And some people submit their own things. They literally just film on their phone. That's cool, but it always has crap audio. So I found this program called Descript, and I ran a recent submission through it, and it sounds like I recorded it on like a high quality microphone in the room with the guy. Like I showed it to my boss, and he literally was like, do we have to pay for this?" I was like, "Actually, no." He's like, "Oh, okay, great."
Because I pay for Auphonic, so yeah, I'll look into that then.
If you pay for their transcription service and their AI voices, I think, but the studio sound is free, so yeah, you should check it out.
Okay, I'm looking into it. Yeah.
Do you check that thing I show you? Maybe that could help. The thing that goes around your mic.
I did see. I don't know, because like we could like.
That's not gonna stop echo. You need those guys.
Yeah, this is like actually a little bit better already, but it's not. The room
Practical.
Wall
is
behind you.
it's well,
Make,
yeah,
make
but-
like a helmet.
yeah,
like a
I mean, I
sombrero.
could, but it's not going to be enough because this room is so
It's very cavernous.
Like, it's so cavernous, and then it's all like there's no carpet anywhere.
It's empty. Once you
Yes.
start putting stuff in there, you'll be
and
good.
that's going to make the
Less-
biggest
less
difference.
stuff.
But then I'm like one rug and a few other things will make a big difference as well. We'll be
Rug. You'll
One
get the rug,
rug,
and
yep.
it'll be great. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, Xylax002 says, "Hey Jeff and Mike, longtime listener, well since 2020, new Patreon subscriber here. Welcome.
Thank you.
My girlfriend and I had to say goodbye to our cat last week. I'm very sorry to
I'm
hear
so
that.
sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
She was suffering. It was time, and I found myself playing of all games, Balan Wonderworld.
So you were
I
suffering
heard-
too.
Oh,
I heard someone once say to watch trash when you're grieving, so you don't associate things you love with death. I'm not 100% sure I agree, but I like the idea. So thanks for Balan. What trashy game would you choose to play in a hard time? Huh? That's interesting
it
question.
would be a bunch of Square Enix games recently. It would be The Quiet Man. it would be. I think yes, if someone died, you play The Quiet Man. I think that's just the rule of life. But also that the Left Alive game, that really weird Metal Gear ripoff that they tried to do. I think I'd probably play that as well.
So for me, if I'm having like a tough day or something, I need to distract myself. So I need something that's just going to be kind of bombastic, I guess. So that would be a good time for me to tuck into like a battle royale or something like that. But one that I'm going to play by myself, I'm probably not going to want to be talking to people. So that's probably where I would go. Sesame Oil says, "Is Ohio the ultimate weeb state?" Well, let me tell you a little bit about weebs in Ohio, you see, because we are not close to any of the good conventions. So we have to kind of like get their scraps, and that makes us the scrappy weebs, you see. And so in that sense, if scrappy is ultimate, then yes. I hope that answers your question.
I think you didn't got the joke.
I think I got it. Right? Isn't it?
Ohio
is like
good
it's
morning
hello.
in Japanese. It's
Yeah.
good morning in Japanese.
Is that how
Good
you spell it like
morning,
that? I did not get that joke.
Yeah,
Yes.
But,
Ohio.
well, then with I
Ohio.
get it.
Yeah.
Ohio. Okay, that's racist, but yes, we did it. Okay.
That's it. You're just trying to do it without an accent. Like, yeah. So I get it.
I just read words. Turbo Madden, that's the theater degree coming out to work, baby. Turbo Madden says, "Happy Friday, Jeff, New Court, Giant Bomber, Grubb, and Mike.
Thank you.
Still a games beater, Minotti. Mike beats games like you wouldn't believe. It's disgusting." With the Xbox Bethesda showcase coming this Sunday, what is your pipe dream game to get announced? Personally, after the success of AoE 4, I'm hoping they announce a brand new Age of Mythology, but that's probably unlikely.
That's not
This is a
unlikely.
that'd be very cool. But this is for me a very easy answer because I tweet it at Phil Spencer every year, and he constantly ignores me. We need a new Crimson Skies. It is time. It's it just feels so obvious to me. Shooter games like that, like flight games, are very easy to make look pretty. Turn on all the ray tracing, do all the spatial audio, do all that fun stuff. You're going to have multiplayer. You're going to have a fun pulp story. It's going to be great for Game Pass. It'll play great on a phone via streaming. It just feels so obvious to me. It is time. We need Crimson Skies.
I think Age of Mythology is much more likely than Crimson Skies, but I would love to see a Crimson Skies as well. Age of Mythology is in the works. It's coming.
Yes.
I just don't know when.
I mean, they have that tech base now with AoE 4, and
Yeah,
I mean that's
exactly.
why the first Age of Mythology existed, because they had a base to build on. So yeah, let's do it.
But yeah, I would love to see a Crimson Skies as well. That'd be cool. But I mean, I want Banjo. Give me Banjo. I love all the Banjo games. I love Nuts and Bolts. I love Banjo Kazooie. Banjo Tooie is still pretty good, even though it's kind of a bit too sprawling the way that all Rare's games got at that point. But still, like I would love to see a new Banjo, and I kind of don't care what they need to do to make it happen. They need to figure it out.
The Russian is right in chat. Killer Instinct 4.
Yes,
We need
that would be good too. Yes, I would like that too.
Deserve
That would be good.
Not need. We deserve that.
We deserve.
Yes. All right, Jamie H 1224. I'm going to call you Jamie H Christmas Eve. I know it's said in jest, but how often do first-party PlayStation games do Luigi's Mansion's numbers? And in that vein, will there ever be a game from PlayStation that has the attach rate of Mario Kart 8? No and no would be my guess, but
Yeah.
Jeff, you might have some insight.
Well, I mean, how often do you first like? Yeah, Spider-Man has done that. I think Miles Morales is probably pretty close to doing Luigi. It's done Luigi's Mansion numbers probably by now, or at least very close. But then beyond that, there's only like a handful of games, that have sold 15 million copies from PlayStation. And I think that's like The Last of Us Part 1. But there's still a big difference because those games go on sale.
The other difference too is, Sony PlayStation first party games tend to be at least teen rated, maybe usually M for mature. Luigi's Mansion is not.
Family game. It's a family game. That's the difference. Like the family games sell.
People see all these you see all the kind of trashy looking animated films come out the theaters, pre-pandemic. Like, oh, why do these even get released? How do they find an audience? They do. There are parents who all they see is that G rating, and they're like, "Oh, let's take the kids." Like that. Yep. That's good enough for them.
Movies make $300 million each. Like, yes, So that's just how it goes.
There's definitely. I mean, I'm not buying my kids God of War Ragnarok, but I'll buy them, Pokemon.
Right. And then like even then, it's like so the Nintendo games are selling more, selling at an average price that is higher. And then also they cost significantly less to make. It is just everything going in their favor. I would expect that more Sony games to continue selling better, especially as they release them on PC. So they'll probably start getting more of those Luigi's Mansion numbers in the future.
Mm-hmm. Running Riot asks or says, "Hello, beef and cheddar boys. Congrats on the new job, Jeff. Hope you'll get a chance to decompress after the move and job change soon."
We'll see.
Jeff, do you know of any resources, books, podcasts, articles, etc. on what it takes to start a game publishing company? And Mike, so you don't feel left out. Well, he's not here, so
So he's.
I like the Battle Network series better than the original Mega Man games. I like those too, though. What spin-off series you like better than the mainline series? Well, let's start with your question, Jeff. What do you know about starting a game publishing company?
Yeah, I would probably just read some. Like, there's a handful of good books about Xbox's first, like getting off the ground. I think Robbie Bach has one, like Inside Xbox, and Dean Takahashi from GamesBeat has written a book about Xbox and Xbox 360. But like, there's a whole bunch, and I think that would be like the right one to look at right now. It's like, what did it take to start like a big first party game publishing company? Now, it's probably not exactly what you're talking about. I think at this point you would probably want to watch any sort of the no clip documentaries from studios that also publish their own games, and that you'll get a lot of insights from them kind of talking about what it has taken. And then the Double Fine documentaries, I would watch those as well. Any Double Fine documentary, they're going to talk about all the ins and outs of what it takes to get a game created from the ground up and then to actually put it to market. They cover all that stuff. So that's where I would start.
All right. So I laughed reading about your question about spin-off games because we have a friend who is obsessed with the Mega Man Battle Network games, and we were just making fun of him for it yesterday. In fact, I designed him a Mega Man Battle Network Xbox controller in the design lab because his controller has drift or something. But Jeff, do you have a spin-off series that you like better than the mainline series? I'm trying to think of an answer myself.
I'm trying to think. I don't. I mean, do the Metroidvania Castlevania games count as opposed to like the original Castlevania just 2D level based games?
Not really. Those are still like mainline games. Like
mainline games,
I mean, this is maybe a bit of a stretch because it's not that I necessarily like them better, but like Kirby has just had some banger spin-offs. Dream Course and Pinball and Air Ride. Not necessarily that I like them better than the mainline games, but I might. I mean,
I like Dream Course better than any other Kirby game. I do.
I mean, I like all the Kirby games, and Forgotten Land is great too. But they are, they skew younger. They're not as challenging. They're just kind of nice. But Dream Course is a fun, challenging take on golf. That is.
And Goldie says Persona series as opposed to the Shimigami Tensei.
Yes,
Tensei, yes. Rhymes with Sensei.
Yes, cool.
You got it perfect.
So yeah. That's my answer. Kirby. We'll go with that. How do you bench
JC? I think is what we say.
Bench JC. Okay, I got it. Says hello. I thought Summer Game Fest was extremely disappointing. Not just the lack of interesting games for me personally, but I thought the show's pacing and just translations were god awful. When will you and Mike take up the mantle and make your own Summer Game Fest show for game reveals? Sponsored by Arby's, of course. Also, wanted to say this community means so much to me and many others, and I'm glad you all still continue to pour endless energy into making it and can't wait for what's to come. Well,
Thank you, Bench.
I'm sure Mike also says thank you. Yeah, I mean, your dad is a magnate of some large media company who's going to fund all this for you, right, Jeff?
Yes, exactly. Yes, he had me live on a separate mansion on their estate, and there I played so many video games that I decided I will make this industry mine. And now it is. Listen, I'll say if you come to my feed, you will see the trailer for The Last of Us remake before even Jeff Keighley has it. So
yeah, that's right. Where's the Game Mess world reveal?
Yeah, yes, oh God, I should have done that. I even had it in Premiere because it was too big when I just downloaded it from the PlayStation Direct. So like, I put it in Premiere. I should have just done that.
That was just Mike's face going, "World premiere." All right, Vision49 says, "Why do God and Jim Ryan hate Bloodborne?"
Yeah.
This question was brought to you by Zoa Energy, the #1 fastest growing energy in the game. I'm drinking one right now, shirtless in my hot, sweaty, and smelly iron paradise. There's always time for an extra cheese pizza. Did you know magic is Superman's weakness? Anyway, here's the Black Adam trailer. Enjoy your games.
I think we need to look into the ingredients of Zoa Energy and just see what's wrong in there.
There's a lot of guarana in it. That's usually what does it. Yeah. Well, why do our two favorite deities hate Bloodborne?
Yeah, this just, again, I've said this one a million times, but this comes down to From Software just being too busy and not being able to just pass off the keys to that kingdom up to someone else. They would have to be present.
I mean, we have the Demon Souls remake. Are they? Is there really an issue with them doing a similar thing with Bloodborne?
Well, I think if someone wanted to remake it from the ground up, they could do it. Yes,
but not like a remaster.
A remaster, I think there's too much code spaghetti. Where not that it's like unoptimized or anything like that, but it does run in 30 frames per second. But From Software would just need to be on the ground with whoever's working on it to help guide them through the code. At least I think that's how From feels. And so nothing was going to happen with that until Elden Ring is kind of in the rearview mirror. And we're probably still in that state where like Elden Ring is #1 priority. So it's probably going to be a little bit longer now.
For sure. Dangerman Leet says, "Hey guys, and happy christening to this new era of the Game Mess. With Xbox Game Show 2 days from now, will Microsoft acknowledge a lackluster 2020 if even Forza gets pushed to 2023? Well, listen, I don't expect Phil Spencer to get up on stage and be like, well, guys, this is the year we hate to say it, but we're going to disappoint you. And we hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive us. But anyway, on with the show. Like, no, they're not going to.
They said in that interview thing that we were talking about earlier, and I meant to put this in the rundown. I should do that for the Bombcast. But said they're going to have 5 first-party releases by the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th. If we say one of those is Forza 3 in spring, Forza Motorsport 8, whatever it is. I don't know what's the 3. And then, like, what else? I mean, maybe one of those is Starfield. Maybe one of those probably not Redfall. Redfall probably gets pushed a little bit further. But like, there's going to be a handful of other games that we just don't know about that will definitely get announced probably here or get dated at the very least. So they'll come out of this thing pretty strong, and they'll say, hey, even if you're disappointed with this year, just wait a couple more months and you're going to be getting some games really at a really fast pace starting next year. So, and here's a few things to hold you over. I think that's how this show looks.
Yep. I agree. Velocity Prime 1 says, greetings to the boy Hyos. If you had to make a somewhat comedic gaming sign to take to a wrestling match for God and country to see on TV, what would it say? Oh, what Mike just had a good one he tweeted the other day. What was it?
While you're thinking, mine is obviously going to be the Game Boy Color is just a Game Boy.
I'll throw you in the ring and fight you right there and then. Mike, I think you're in the chat. Say what yours was. I would have a sign that probably says
Turok greater than GoldenEye, says Mike Minotti.
It's wrong.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Turok was greater than GoldenEye, and that is, I would actually agree with that too. So yeah, that's a good one.
Man, we might have to. I might have to like. I like Turok a lot, actually. The single player, obviously.
Turok was great. Great. I mean, it's dinosaurs. You like dinosaurs.
Mine would. And I mean it.
I mean, mine would honestly just probably be like, give us Crimson Skies, you cowards, or something like that, and those who know would just nod at home and be like, he's right. And that would be the end of it. Yep. Octo says, hey there, Giant Bomb spinoff show. How dare you? Now that you're an offshoot of GB, no confusion so far, what would be the equivalent sitcom to spin-off comparison? If Giant Bomb is the main show, the game is like Joey for Friends, Young Sheldon for The Big Bang Theory, Mork and Mindy, Laverne and Shirley, After MASH, or Walter, or Trapper John, MD. Yes,
Trapper
these are
John,
all
MD.
MASH spin-offs. Much love, Radu from Romania. P.S. Holy shit, Routine is back. Also check out Plucky Squire. It looks amazing. Was at the Devolver, I think. Plucky Squire does look very rad.
Yeah, we're going to do a trailer roundup show. Don't tell anybody, but in Giant Bomb this Sunday, I think we're going to do a Giant Bomb trailer roundup show. We're going to watch all those. So
yes,
yeah.
This show is definitely Frasier. It's very white.
You're right. Very white, and me and Mike are very similar, but we're just like different levels of that. And it's like it still works because like most of the time you think like, okay, we're putting together a sitcom. We need the odd couple, right? They need to be very different. And so they trigger each other, but it's like me and Mike trigger each other because we're very similar, at least in a lot of our opinions and stuff like that. And being from Ohio and being Midwestern and all these things, and yet we still trigger each other a ton because it's just I think maybe we annoy each other even more because we're just out whiting each other or something.
I think about it, it was you guys were both on opposite ends of the country. Now you moved back to the same general area. I mean, it really just all falls into place.
It is Frasier. Yes, I was I was at a bar where everyone knew my name for a few years, and now I'm over here. Yeah,
it's great. All right, Nick Turbo says a lot of people seem to not like the way Diablo Immortal is monetized. Xbox hasn't really done this type of monetization except Halo Infinite to a lesser extent. Do you think the monetization of Immortals and future ABK will change under Microsoft, or will their hands-off approach include allowing this type of monetization to continue? So my gut on this is that don't expect Diablo Immortal to change. It is what it is. It is a Blizzard game that was co-developed and co-published by NetEase, and it's not going to escape that. At most, what I think might happen is if there is enough fan pushback to the way that game is monetized and how it's being handled, they might, for like the season 2 launch, try to mea culpa and be like, oh, like we've heard the feedback, we're backing off on some of the pay gating, the battle pass is going to be just cosmetics now. Like maybe they do something like that, but I don't even think that's going to happen. But as far as what happens post merger, I don't know, Jeff, that might be a better question for you.
I think that they will probably mostly still be hands off, even with monetization stuff, but they're going to have best practices and they're going to be like, here's lessons learned. Here's stuff that we know doesn't work. And here's also our bank accounts. So don't feel like you need to panic and make a ton of money from this one game. Like we would love it if you made a ton of money from this one game, but do not alienate fans in the process of that because, hey, look at our bank account. Like there will be some like, it's okay, bro. Just chill out and don't like having loyal fans is more important to us long term than making a lot of money from just this one game. So that will change a little bit.
All right. Doc7 says, hello, beefy Chad boys. No question this week, only lamenting the fact that Sony killed their creative Japan studios to instead produce cynical, artistically bankrupt, and wholly unnecessary remakes of 8-year-old games.
Yeah, I'm not quite as cynical on that as everyone else, but like I get it.
I don't think they shut down the Japan studio and we're like, and now we can finally do our built from the ground up remaster of The Last of Us, and we can put part 1 at the end and charge $70 for it. Like that was not,
exactly, but it's like they just had people available and they needed them to work on something, and this fit. So that's just kind of how it happens.
Ed says, I like just Ed. Very succinct. Hi, gents. Why do you think Capcom are succeeding with using RE Engine for every game, whereas EA failed when trying the same thing with Frostbite? Is it down to talent, tech, the types of games, or something else? I mean, my read on the situation was that Frostbite was built to make Battlefield games. And then EA got it in their heads, like, well, we could do other things with this. And they tried to force the fit onto, BioWare projects and Madden and things like that. And it was never meant for that. Whereas RE Engine, again, just you have that feeling that it was built to be scalable. It was built to be more adaptable. It's called the RE Engine, but they didn't make it to just make Resident Evil games. Like it was always meant to be kind of the backbone of everything they do.
The Reach for the Moon engine. Like, yeah, that's actually what the RE stands for, apparently, somehow. But yeah, like I think it mostly is as simple as they built it with the idea of making multiple genres in mind. An engine is never as like rigid as people imagine in their mind, where it's like, this is this game's engine and therefore this game is going to be like X. It is just a series of tools, and that just comes down to the tool creator. Like, how talented is the tool creator? How versed are they in the various ways the tool is going to be used? I think that Capcom very specifically set out the goal of building an engine that would be capable of enabling them to do all the things they need to do, and that solved problems before they arose. And then Battlefield just had a ton of technical debt by the time they decided to make this move, and that only got worse as time went on. And there was never anyone that had any proficiency in making that into a good animation engine, and that's its biggest downfall. Like, the Anthem felt like a dead game because the people would just not move, and you'd go into a bar and people would not be dancing like they were in Mass Effect 1 because that just required too much effort in that engine. And so it's kind of been doomed ever since.
Actually, I thought Anthem had really good facial animations when you talk to characters.
Facial animations, yes. That's what they focused on one area.
In this game.
Yes, you're
also,
right.
what people forget is that Capcom has a lot of history, like making their own engines, like MT framework stuff from the past.
Yeah, you're right. Like, they have teams that have like probably been building up those skills for forever. So,
well, and again, the RE engine made by a Japanese studio being used by other Japanese studios in Japan, and then you had Frostbite developed by DICE in Sweden, right, Jeff?
Right. Yes. And
and
then
then
by EA.
Yeah, after the fact,
yeah.
and then trying to ship it off to studios in Canada and US and all over, and you don't have you have language barriers, you have a lack of support staff. It was just a messy situation.
Imangoli puts it really well. There's a reason why Witcher is using Unreal Engine now. Like, even like a company like that has had its own engine with, like, I think it was called the Red Engine or something like that.
Right.
Like, even then, they're like, we are getting to a point where we either have to completely reinvest in this and take a ton of time building it up, or we could just use Unreal, and they're using Unreal. So it's like a lot of people are noticing the benefits of just doing that.
Right. And again, you have support for that too. When you need help, Epic is built for that. Yeah. All right. Colin says, what game are you most looking forward to playing in the next year? Starfield. That's my easy answer there.
Yeah, it's probably my answer too. In the next year, I mean, who knows when Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, but I need to play Starfield as well. So
even still, I mean, I'm very excited for Breath of the Wild 2, but it's a little bit more of a known quantity. Right, Starfield is going to be pretty unique. Yeah,
I agree. I'm most excited to play Starfield. That's true.
Yep. Low Roll says, Grug. So let me do this in the Grug. Grug, do you think Xbox ever worked to get Game Pass games run natively on Steam Deck? I have downloaded it through xCloud, but this is only so effective.
Grug thinks so. Grug think Microsoft want to be wherever a gamer is. So yes, Microsoft put game on Steam Deck.
That's good, because I my Steam Deck is a Q3 one, and it'd be great to have actual Game Pass games running on it, because I'm at that point, like going back to the Squire. I forget the adjective already, but that's a game. It's like, it's announced for Switch. It feels like a Game Pass game eventually, but then I want to play it on my Steam Deck, which means I have to buy it for Steam anyway. So, like, it'd be cool if I could just have Game Pass.
Exactly.
All right, Danger Man Leet. Hey guys, late reply. Do you all think if Microsoft has any surprise AAA titles for later this year, even if Forza Motorsport 8 comes next year? I don't think they're gonna have a surprise AAA. They're like, you've talked about this before. They're not built like Nintendo yet, where they can literally finish a game and hold on to it for a rainy day. They're going as fast as they can to get stuff out, and when it's ready, it comes out, and that's just the way it is right now.
Yep, they're gonna have some surprise games, but I just don't think anyone's gonna classify them as AAA. Maybe that Josh Sawyer game can pass as AAA if you squint a little bit. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Turbo Sean says, all right, AJ, here's your chance. Why are you the best Minotti? Well, I have several reasons. I mean, I'm oldest, so I'm the wisest. I have a master's degree. I'm the only Minotti with a postgraduate degree. So I got that going for me. Clearly I'm the most handsome of the Minotti. So I've got that going for me as well. And I have this really big cup. Mike's cups are not as big as this cup, and that's just a fact, and it's science.
They're so small, he's afraid to drink out of them most of the time. He just drinks right out of the bottle. He's ashamed.
That's right, at the side of his mouth. So there you go. There's the definitive answer. Eric Stampworld asks, AJ, what is the better game, Hollow Knight or SteamWorld Dig 2? Are you Team Jeff or Team Mike? So here we go. So I mentioned earlier, I played like an hour of Hollow Knight and bounced, and I've never played SteamWorld Dig 2 at all.
So you don't know. It probably could be better.
It could be, but by just
By
pure
the
experience,
transitive property, yes.
I just have to go with Hollow Knight, I guess. I'm very sorry. So yeah, that's that. And just to bounce off Jeffy says, SteamWorld Dig 2 is infinitely better, a 10 compared to a 5. So I'll tell you what. Before I'm on the show again next, I'll play SteamWorld Dig 2.
Yes. It's great. It's a great game. It's so good. It's usually on sale. You can get it real cheap, $2 sometimes. So yeah, get it.
I might actually own it. I'll have to check. Who knows?
Yes.
So yeah, that is all of our Discord questions. Any more super chats we need to get to?
Let me see here. I think we got a few more. Let's see. This one's from Alexander Dark 91. Did you guys see the leak? Kojima is at the Xbox conference, 100% confirmed. Plus a lot more. Won't spoil it. I mean, I never know how like trustworthy any of this stuff is, but okay, cool. I mean, I'm ready to be surprised, and I'll say if Kojima's not there now, I will be a little shocked. But I guess I was shocked he wasn't at Summer Game Fest. From Mike Minotti, AJ, favorite Sonic game?
Ooh, okay. It's actually probably Sonic Mania. I mean, before that, I probably would have said Sonic 2. Which I think is actually better than Sonic 3 and Knuckles because it's a little cleaner of a game. I think Sonic 3 has a little too much going on visually and it gets a little muddy sometimes. But Sonic Mania is, to me, the perfect Sonic game. It is a very good game. It's everything a 2D Sonic game should do and needs to do. I always said it's like if they kept making 2D Sonic games for the Saturn and took everything they learned from Sonic CD and Sonic 3 Knuckles and just kept going back in the day. And we got that game. However many years later, and that's great. If you want to pigeonhole me to 3D Sonic games, I actually really do like Generations quite a bit. I thought that was a good execution of having like Act 1 be the fast boost style level, and Act 2 where you played 2D old school Sonic in 3D graphics. That was the closest they got to getting the physics right. It still wasn't perfect, but it was better in other games where you're playing like modern Sonic in 2D, and it just felt like a slippery mess. So there's your answer, Mike.
Sonic Mania is correct. Already. From Slippery Moose Cakes, do you think Phil Spencer should grow his hair out like Jeff? Vote your response with yes or no in chat. Also, when are we getting 1 versus 100? Listen, if they announce 1 versus 100 on Sunday, we're gonna be set. No one will be disappointed.
That's very easy. Wait, let's make the poll. Should Phil Spencer grow his hair out like Jeff Grubb?
All right. While I'm doing that, Scratty Bone said Jeff. Sorry, he just said Jeff. That's all. That's all he said. He just said Jeff. He said in $2 Canadian and then just said Jeff. So we'll see if he follows up with anything.
So I don't know if Phil can grow. Can the industry handle that much luxury and luxurious lot? In the same industry at the same time. Because I have to imagine, Phil Spencer, who probably conditions, could probably grow a beautiful head of hair. And it's like Highlander. There can be only one, and I'd hate to see you have to kill Phil Spencer, frankly. So
after Scratty Bone said Jeff, Divin Greedy said AJ is cool. Can we keep him? And then in chat, Mike Minotti says you can only have a little AJ as a treat. Mike, when do you get back? When are you flying back? Like, do I need to bring AJ on again? Yeah, does he not? You don't know? It's like I want to I'm probably gonna want to do a show after the Xbox thing on Sunday. So
yeah, I mean I kind of cleared with the lady of the house. I'm good for Sunday night, I think. Too.
Okay, cool. So then we're probably gonna do something on Sunday.
I was like, hey, what are the odds of me getting like an hour and a half to myself on Sunday to watch this Xbox thing? She's like, I'll take the kids to go swimming and you could stay home. And I was like, oh, that's more than I was expecting. All right, great.
All right, Mike, since he might not be able to do anything Sunday, so we'll probably come back to you on Sunday. So you get a little more AJ.
You'll get a double dose of Ash Guy this weekend. Yes. Lucky you guys.
All right,
booster shot.
Yeah, booster shot of AJ. Your vitamin AJ coming right up.
Yes, the best kind of vitamin.
All right, so Ash Guy, you said you were playing Diablo Immortal.
What do you think? I'm so at odds with it. It is, if you took just this game and looked at it as a Blizzard game that they made, it's a really good game. It's a super fun Diablo game. It looks really good. It plays phenomenally well on mobile. Like it's ideal for me to play it with my Backbone controller. But if I'm just pulling my phone out to like run a dungeon, I'm not upset that I'm using the touch controls. They work really, really well. And just like the narrative design, I think it's the best story told in a Diablo game so far. The dungeon design is really good. Like they're good dungeons that, like from an MMO point of view. I've done the raid. The raid is super fun. It's a good game. And the microtransactions just cast this cloud over the whole thing that like for me, it doesn't ruin the experience, but it very nearly does. And I can understand why people do have their experience ruined by it. It does that real shitty thing where every time you beat a dungeon, it's like, hey, you just slayed King Leoric. Pretty cool, huh? Here's a limited time deal, a chest for 99 cents. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm enjoying this game. I'll kick a buck your way and get some gems and stuff. And you beat the next one. It's like, great job killing the Countess. Here's another chest. This one's only $3. That's a 500% value. You're like, oh, yeah, $3. They do that every time till the end of the game. It's like, here's a chest for $50. Good on you. You're max level now. I'm like, stop it. But most of what's pay-gated in the game, it's these legendary gems that you socket into your main equipment. There's 6 slots. They can drop as a 1-star gem, a 2-star gem, and then there are 5-star gems, but they can be anywhere from 2 to 5 stars themselves.
Oh no, okay,
which is confusing.
Yeah, I get it though. That sounds similar to how Fire Emblem worked, I think, when I played it. I bet a lot of games work this way.
And the only way to get these gems is you have to run a challenge rift, but you have to use there's crests you can pay as an entry fee. You don't have to. You can run a challenge rift and just play it and maybe get something. Very low chance. But if you want to guarantee a legendary gem, you have to use these purple crests, and the only way to get them is to pay for them. They're not earnable currency. They're not in the battle pass. You have to buy them. And they guarantee a drop of some kind of legendary gem. The 5-star gems of any rating have like a 1.5% drop chance. So to get an actual 5 out of 5-star one, we don't even know what the percentage is. It's astronomical. There's stories of a streamer in New Zealand. He bought 10,000 New Zealand dollars worth of these gems and didn't get a 5-star one, which is insane to me. That's even possible.
Right. That's the kind of thing where it's like you just right from the beginning, you make sure that you tell your mathematicians that set up all the statistics of this stuff. If someone spends more than $1,000 on this game, you guarantee a certain number of 5 stars, right? Like,
and here's the thing, because there is a pity timer, I believe, for that class of gem, but it's going to be in that 2 to 5 range. There's no guarantee of ever getting the 5 out of 5.
Yes, it's a broken economy.
Again, here's the issue too: is these 5-star gems? They're believe me, I'd be thrilled to get one if I happen to drop one in the game somehow. You don't need them. You're going to beat the game and play it just fine. Like I beat the campaign. I never felt under-leveled. I never felt underpowered. If anything, it was too easy, frankly.
Right.
But this is, I guess if you're going to get into PvP, I don't know who plays Diablo for the PvP. There's like a whole clan battle thing. If you're going to take that seriously, if you want to be the immortal, like every server has an immortal at any given week, then yeah, I guess you have to dump money. So I guess you have to ask yourself, like, well, when I played Diablo 3, did I literally grind for hundreds and hundreds of hours so I literally min-maxed my entire character? If you did, and now you're like, well, I can't do that in this game unless I dump thousands of dollars. Okay, yeah, you can be upset. If you just want to play a good Diablo game, and then when you feel like you've hit a paywall, just bounce off, do that. I think that's the correct response to this game. Demonstrate to Blizzard, hey, you made a really cool game, and I want to play it, because your developers are world-class, they made a good Diablo game. But you can go straight to hell if you think I'm going to spend more than $20 trying to play your game of this weird min-max item economy. Because it really does, it's the first time for me that I felt like this is a Blizzard game published by Activision. Even though that relationship's been in place a long time, this feels the Activision-ness in it, just the way it's built out. And it's a bummer. Because like I said, I'm enjoying it otherwise, and it's super fun to play. Mike, Chris, and I play it together. We run rifts and dungeons together, and well,
I mean, it's like you're saying, you are having a good time. It sounds like it's a solidly made game for someone who's a fan of Diablo. The only problems seem to be like you are thinking about these other issues that hang over, like you said, like a cloud, and it taints everything.
It'd even be easier if it was just like off to the side, like, yeah, if I want to min-max, I know where the shop is. But like I said, every time you do anything, like, oh, that was great. And $5, like, no, I'm just playing your game. Leave me alone. And if it was just like cool cosmetics, I'd drop $20 to make my barbarian look like
Right. Yes.
like a character from Warcraft or something like that.
Right.
You know, like get fun with it, like whatever.
But they don't do that fun stuff.
It's a bummer that's become the conversation around this game because it's fun. It's weird. Well, like I said, who knows? There is a chance for them to fix it. Will they take that chance? I doubt it, but they could, and that'd be cool.
I started playing Mario Strikers Battle League.
How is it?
It's pretty good, but I haven't had a ton of time because I've been very busy with the new job and with moving, and so I haven't. I'm gonna play more tonight before bed if I'm not too tired. But it seems like it's very good in terms of like if you're playing online, if you are playing if you get a battle league going, that sort of stuff. We are gonna get ours off the ground this coming Friday, not tonight, but next Friday. So you have time to practice, and then make sure you're in the Discord. We are gonna get a league going. It's gonna have like 20 teams. So it's probably going to fill up pretty quickly. So if you want in, make sure you're serious. Like if you ask like, hey, well, I'm going to get in this. Hey, Turbo Sean, who I think is putting this together for us. He usually is. Thank you to Turbo Sean. Make sure you're serious because we're going to try to keep this going for real. But in terms of like the way, like bringing back the action of Mario Strikers and updating it, make it feel modern, I'm really happy with it. It feels right. It feels great. It feels snappy. But, you know, so have all the recent Mario sports games. People talk about like, oh, how disappointing the recent Mario sports games have been. I think that's like only from a content standpoint, because I think Mario Golf plays pretty well. It just didn't have the online tournaments that you would want. And then Mario Tennis is like the best, I think one of the best playing tennis games ever. It feels fantastic. But it's just like people got, I think, burnt down on the online mode, and then there wasn't enough people to play online with, and you kind of needed to play online to really enjoy that game because there wasn't a lot to do for single player. And I think a lot of that stuff's still true here, even though those games are counting a lot and this game's next level. But I never expected to be like, oh, I'm going to come to Mario Strikers for those single player content. This is always going to be about playing against other people. Even when we were playing Mario Strikers for GameCube a couple months ago, we played that using Dolphin online. It was me and Mike playing, and we had a great time, and that's what made that game very good. So I'm happy with the way it controls, the way it feels, and now I hope that this Battle League, when we do this, it is as good as it possibly can be when you have like a community that all wants to be playing this. And we'll see, and we'll kind of keep with it. We'll keep updating people about it. And then I've been playing a handful of other things I can't talk about yet, but some stuff recently announced and stuff like that. So we'll be talking about it soon. I think we should be able to have a conversation about it next week. So not to tease, but a lot of stuff happening right now. And when Mike gets back next week, we'll really sit down and talk about all the things he played and kind of get his even more of an update on anything else.
Oh God, you said his name too many times. You summoned him. Oh God.
Oh my God.
He's in a bed. Oh no.
He's in
a
bed.
no.
Oh no.
World premiere.
Oh God.
Sorry, there we go. There's Mike Minotti.
What's your world premiere, Mike? Oh, don't put him there. That's my face.
Right,
And I gotta
see.
be careful. I am not wearing pants.
oh no. Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
YouTube doesn't
Careful with the
care.
reflection.
YouTube's
Yeah,
down with it.
I just can't drop the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful.
Yes. Please, God, no.
Let my kids. Don't drop it.
Do you want to answer these questions from Slippery Moose Cakes? What is the best cartoon out of the 90s?
Well, AJ's gonna say Darkwing Duck, and I would say Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Ooh, but I could also go Sonic Saturday Morning.
That's nostalgia speaking.
I like that show a lot.
X-Men. I like the X-Men 90s cartoon. The
yes.
the Shi'Tar, or whatever it is, the space arc, and then the Phoenix arc. Like it's just the comics, but it's really well done. I love that cartoon.
That show's getting its sequel on Disney Plus.
I can't believe. I hope they do right by it. That'll be incredible.
I think they will.
And then Big Fresh 37. Excellent first week at Giant Bomb, Jeff. He says at GB, Jeff. Yeah. And that's not going to be confusing. Love you. Thank you so much, Big Fresh. Is the Morning Mess also going to be a podcast? Good to see AJ on the show.
Thank you.
Yes, the Morning Mess is just going to be in the Grubb Snacks feed. So if you are subscribed to the Grubb Snacks feed, it's just going to be the morning. It's going to turn in the Morning Mess. We'll update all the stuff in the back end. But yeah, and if you are a premium subscriber, we did a Discord Q&A today where we answered a lot of questions like that. That should get its own podcast soon as well. I know they recorded it. It's going to be uploaded somewhere. So check that out. Listen to that, and you get all kinds of details on stuff like that, and about the merch. Which the new merch, I've seen it. It looks so good. So we're talking about doing other things here real quick. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, there's not much else for me to talk about because, like I said, some of the games I've been playing have been embargoed. So we can probably wrap this up. Let's start with our boy on the ground in LA, Mike Minotti. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm a pretty sleepy boy. You know, it's 8 here, but be a little bit later at home. I got in pretty late last night. I didn't get a ton of sleep. I think some people are still out at those parties, but Mikey is tapping out. I think I'm going to go and play probably that same embargoed game Jeff is talking about in my bed for a good while. I actually did get my Nintendo jail code for Mario Strikers also, so I may check you.
Oh, I should check that emails because we're gonna do a quick look at that. So yeah, make that happen. Absolutely. And then Ashguy, where can people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at AdgeGuy, and check out Mike and I, along with our brother Chris, on 90s Disney, which we just had our Tarzan episode go out this month, and we're celebrating 3 years of 90s Disney this month, actually. And we have a very cool episode coming out on June 17th, which is the 23rd anniversary of Tarzan. I have done my third and probably, for now, final interview with Tab Murphy, who is the screenwriter of that film. We also talked to him about Hunchback of Notre Dame and Atlantis, and he also wrote Brother Bear.
Yes,
so we talked mostly Tarzan and a little bit of Brother Bear the other night, and that episode is going to go up next week. And check it out because Tab is super cool and has some really cool stories to talk about what it was like working with Disney in the 90s as a screenwriter. So yeah, that's where we are.
I was so tempted to can I get to Disneyland and get the Trader Sam's? It would cost less to get a ticket for the theme park than to get an Uber.
I was gonna say that's a long Uber.
Yeah. I mean, can you take a public bus? You'll be fine. Oh, here he is, everybody!
Don't tell that story, AJ.
I was gonna say, if you guys send in enough super chats on Sunday when I'm on, maybe I'll tell the story of Mike's first interaction with public transit.
Oh my God!
Oh
yes,
my God.
We'll set a goal. We'll set a high goal. All right, from Xbox will always be number 3. When will L Grubb admit he's lying about Kojima? And then eye roll emoji. One of my favorite emojis. Just fantastic stuff there. Xbox will always be number 3. Jez says, could have spent this on crests in Diablo Immortal. Yes, you could have. I don't know what you're doing with your money, giving it to us instead.
Right. Well, you could have had a gem.
Yeah.
That gave you a 1% damage increase. How dare you?
I'll send you a picture of myself labeled Jim. And then for Possum Theory, Game Boy and Game Boy Color, same system? Question mark?
No.
Yes.
No,
you're outvoted.
Mike, yeah. The Maori say no.
I'm outnumbered.
That's right.
From Scratty Bones, when will L Grubb admit he's starring in Death Note? I'll admit that right now. Turbo Sean, are you here still? You were in here a second ago.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Do you have anything you want to tell the community about our upcoming game nights or anything like that?
I will say that the Strikers one is going to be interesting because I don't know if you were on Twitter earlier today, but apparently that game is only 2v2 online.
Oh.
Wait, can you do 1v1?
Yeah, you could. It's at a max 4 people unless you have multiple people on the same system for some reason, which is very weird. But yeah, the schedule is Mario Strikers next Friday. It was going to be tonight actually, but we bumped it because of this Naughty 3 stuff, and then you settling into the new house still and everything.
Hopefully my guest will be here by then. Hopefully, and I'll be able to set up everything. We'll be able to do a real stream. Yes.
And then we're doing supporter stuff after that. It'll be our next Jeopardy game. Will be the week after that, and then the week after that, which will bring us all the way July 1st, will be our next big Fall Guys game night.
Ooh, yes,
that was a ton of fun.
Free to play and cross-platform on pretty much everything, so more people can participate.
And we already got I think we topped out at 32 players in the last one. So yeah, hopefully we'll see everyone there. Now they'll be free to play and cross-play. We just get a crap ton of people in the lobby. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Turbo.
Did you guys show them my cup yet?
Oh, here, let me show everyone the damn cup.
I don't know what this is. Jez says, 1v1 Killer Instinct Bros.
Let's go, Jez. I'll take you on. I will defend the honor of Game Mess. Let's go anytime.
Is this going to work? No, it's too blurry.
What's it say? Enjoy your gaming. What the hell? Did they enable you to print whatever you wanted on the water bottle?
Yes, you were able to etch a phrase into the Twitch party water bottles. They were
That's
giving away.
incredible. Oh my
really
god.
well done.
I'm so jealous. I wasn't jealous
Sometimes,
until
Mike,
right
you're
now.
Pretty smart. You're pretty smart sometimes. I will
Oh
say.
my
I'm the
God.
funniest person I know. Everybody at Twitch in the party agreed.
Can I mute him? I know I'm gonna kick him from this thing. All right.
There, yes.
Let's just kick him out of the entire Discord.
Whoa,
All right,
whoa,
everybody.
whoa.
We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up. We're getting out of here.
Yeah,
Mike's going to bed.
Wow. Hey, man, Exploding Barrel never used to last this long. It's amazing what happens when people listen to your podcast.
You say things and you feel like people are listening. It's weird.
Yeah, right.
You have to walk before you can run, Edge guy.
That's right. 12 years in Azkaban.
From Xbox will always be number 3. No Starfield, no Kojima, no games. Xbox Cope. Tongue emoji, tongue emoji, tongue emoji. And with that, we are. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you Sunday night. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one and enjoy your gaming.
Enjoy your gaming.
Yeah, I'm cranking it.
World premiere.
All right, stop recording. Stop recording. Let me end the stream.
Yes.
I'll end the stream.
Bye, chat.
Yeah, bye, chat. You all have a good
Bye,
night.
you
Thank you
too.
so much for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the like button before you get out of
Yes.
here.
Give us
Go somewhere
like-
else. Thank you so much, everybody. And hopefully the next time we do this, and probably not tomorrow, like not on Sunday, but soon I'll have more stuff in here and I'll be able to like a bit on a better mic and everything. But for now, thank you everybody for bearing with me. Everyone's been very kind about it, so I don't know why I'm like
It
making a
won't
big
sound
deal
like
about
he's falling into an endless pit.
It sounds like amateur bullshit to me.
True.
Goodbye.
Hey, good job, AJ.
Oh, hey, thanks,
in
Mike.
stream. I mean,
Thank,
Oh,
That was
okay.
awesome.
Yes, thank you, AJ. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, yeah, my pleasure.